I can talk to a camera. I can't talk to people, but as soon as we turn a camera on, I'm just talking that general direction.
Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff on there. You're pretty good at talking in the camera.
Yeah, I know. When I actually have a real live person in front of me, then I just start stuttering and sound like a retard.
Are we live?
I probably shouldn't.
We are live.
Yeah, I think we're live.
Rise and grind for one more time, right?
Yeah, except it's 4:30.
Rise and go to bed.
Yeah.
4:30.
It's still morning in Hawaii.
What was it say?
We have
Isn't
several.
Australia about like waking up or something?
Yeah, something like that.
We have a
And on the
couple
bottom
of
side of the
See-
world, it's
see what's
winter
going on.
there.
Just you said
Is
popping
it
up.
so?
And there we are.
Yep.
It's not delayed, is it?
All right.
It will be a little
Yeah.
different.
Okay, so I'm just gonna look at that then.
That looks pretty okay. So,
Any
Most
more
of the
zooming?
comments.
You like that?
I think that looks wonderful.
yeah, I think this is gonna look. I think this is gonna look pretty good. So, especially once we get the Panda Pack or the Panda Bear, we got covers for the outlets coming.
Yeah.
So-
outlets are coming.
That'll be cool.
All right.
Back out of it.
So, we have it's probably hooked up to the wrong Wi-Fi.
Angel,
So
you want to
that's-
help us out on this? one?
Yeah, hook that up to the right,
It's right here.
the right
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
go up here and then.
Yep.
Shit.
Hashtag technicalities. So anyway, thanks everybody for joining us here. If you're watching this later as a video, well, I'll kind of get right into it. This is our new set, which is kind of
Yeah,
my
that
old
one's fun.
set, but it's a redesign of the
other
old
one is
set.
Is it Angel?
So now
no.
it's coming up.
They're at 5G only.
There we go.
Because the other one's the extender that's upstairs.
Now we're rocking
It's
and
connecting.
rolling.
Yeah. So,
Once it's good.
once again, here with my regular Rise and Grinds buddy Jonathan Hawes. This is our special guest, Trevor Baumgartner, that's in here today.
I know.
The best lefty you've never heard of.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I wish.
So anyway, Rise and Grinds is kind of done. It was fun to just kind of hang out on the couch and have a few drinks and whatever else, but we had some ideas that we wanted to do. Initially, it kind of started as a topic-driven thing to where we wanted to talk about some stuff and talk about some other stuff rather than just bowling balls and bowling ball reviews and whatever else. Get into some other stuff, and it kind of turned into two guys just sitting on a couch drinking beer.
Cheers.
But yeah, cheers. We had some ideas, so we're going to start a show. We're going to call it the Breakdown Pair.
The pair.
And, yeah, you get it? The Breakdown Pair. And we're going to have all kinds of stuff going on. So we're going to have different segments. We're going to have different parts. Like we're going to have the first segment is going to be Getting Tapped.
Yep.
Which we're going to have my brother and sister-in-law are a couple of the owners of Norseman Brewing Company here in Topeka, Kansas. I think we've said this a few times, but what we're going to do is we're going to get a different Norseman beer instead of kind of cycling through a few different ones. We're going to get a different Norseman beer every week. I might even have my brother on through a Zoom call, give some brewer's notes or something like that, show up and talk about the stuff. And we're going to do a little featurette on that. We'll just pick one and have a different one every week. It's still going to be on Sundays, but it's going to be in the afternoon, evening, something like that. Give us a little bit more show prep time, but we're going to have a bunch of segments, like I said, with over the line where somebody sends a strong opinion in either about two-handers or PVA patterns or something.
Lefties.
Yeah,
I
or
was gonna say, gotta
lefties.
put lefties
Yeah,
in there.
speaking of that, this is another thing that we wanted to full-time righty, full-time lefty, half and half, been both. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later here. We're also going to have something. Sometimes, probably more often than not, we're going to do the Coolwick Cool Chat. We're going to have...
Excited about that one.
Yeah, we're going to try to get somebody on the, as for the television's so-called plan.
Well, above my head here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So most of the time, we're going to have somebody in on a Zoom call on that thing. We're also going to have something called a Market Zero,
Yep.
which send in bowling. We have an email address that we set up that I'll get into here in a minute. Where we're going to take submissions for questions. Send us in bowling fails or interesting ways that you've seen people, gutter foul, whatever else for Market Zero.
Trevor walking down half the pair.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
half the lane, not the pair, sorry.
So we've got a bunch of different cleverly named segments.
And spare time.
Mhm.
So we can just do general chat.
So yeah, we're gonna have spare time at the end where we'll do some general chat Q&A type stuff, and then we will have the breakdown, which is send in your questions, your comments. We got plenty of room here on the table, so I can show how to lay out a bowling ball, or I've got an armadillo, which is a tool to help you find your positive access point. Or if you have any tech questions, anything like that, we'll do that. So we're going to have several different segments and fun different things throughout the show, and have a little bit more structure to it, instead of sometimes we have an idea for something and we end up rambling and getting derailed by the chat and whatever else. So we're going to try to make it a little bit more of a show. So like I said, Rise and Grinds was a lot of fun, but we had this idea for the show, and I think it's gonna come together pretty good.
My brother only strikes when he falls on the approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, who said
So
that?
yeah, the email address that you can start sending things to now is breakdownpair@gmail.com. That's where you're going to send if you have a question. We'll read through the emails and pick out a couple of questions that we can talk about track flare, we can talk about layouts, we can talk about whatever. If you have a technical question, send that in. If you have a funny bowling fail, send that in.
And that reaches both of us.
Yeah,
So-
because it's a joint email account, so we can look through and see stuff like that. So again, bowling related stuff, or if you have a strong opinion one way or the other, like I said on Over the Line, we're gonna talk about it and say, okay, well this is reasonable, this makes sense,
Yep.
or it's over the line.
Yep.
Get it?
Over the line.
Yeah.
And we also, I'm not sure if you're ready to get into that,
Yeah.
but to kick off our new show,
Yeah.
we have a really cool contest.
Yes, we have we're gonna do, and we'll have a video for this also, but we're having a Coolwick design contest, because Jonathan and I are on with Coolwick now, and so what we want you to do is we want you to mock up a design. So there's plenty of photo editing sites out there that you can find, and shirt templates, whatever else. It takes a little bit of know-how and a little bit of creativity, but if you mock a design up, send it to the email address. We're going to be taking submissions all through the month of August. So
August 31st at midnight. We'll be
August 31st.
starting today, correct?
Yeah, starting today.
Starting right
so
now.
Go ahead and start
Right
sending in submissions if you're interested in this. So, and it's unlimited. The only limitations, I guess, is the winners need to be in the lower 48 states, because shipping is insane.
And Coolwick has a subscription to or a partnership with Shutterstock. So you feel free to use any design you see on Shutterstock.
Yeah.
And Coolwick can do that.
Yeah, if you find a cool photo on Shutterstock.com, then Coolwick pays for those. And so you don't necessarily, if you find a really cool picture, obviously the more you can make it look like a jersey, the better. So it's going to give us a better idea of, you can find all the logos and stuff. And so he's obviously going to need a Motive logo and a Genesis logo. I'm going to need Turbo, Storm, whatever else. So the better that you can mock it up, the more it's going to help.
Yep.
But the first weekend, or probably it might be the first time that we stream in September, we're going to go through every single one of the designs. So it's not like we're just going to look at these all ourselves and then pick out a couple that we like and post those up there and say, hey, these are the winners.
We'll hit them all.
Yeah, they're not going to disappear into an inbox. We're going to pull every single one of them up, and we're going to show every single one of them on the
Should be able
stream.
to put them up right here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. We're going to put them up right there. And so even if we don't end up choosing your design, then maybe if you see somebody else's design and say, hey, I'd really like that one. If one of you are sitting there watching, Coolwick can make that into a jersey.
Maybe Trevor.
Yeah. Find something really interesting for Trevor.
Yeah, I'm down. I need some ideas.
Yeah, I'm not very artistic, so this is.
Are you
part
gonna
of the
gonna
thing.
jump in on the contest?
Yeah, I have to maybe jump in and send in some artwork. I'm not a very good
Let's see it.
artistic person, but I got some
Yeah,
people.
you-
I
Yeah,
got some guys that
You're pretty
know.
dang creative, I
Yeah.
think.
I might be able to come up with something.
I think you'd
hopefully.
make it.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is Jonathan and I are each going to pick a winner. So we're going to look through all these designs, and you can submit them either for Jonathan, for myself. When sending things into the email address, it would be very helpful if you would title it, this is an over-the-line segment, or this is a bowling fail, or this is a contest. This is the design submission for either him or myself, or possibly for both of us.
Yep.
So we're each going to pick one winner to get that jersey made for ourselves, and then your prize is going to be the same jersey.
You
for
get the design, and we wear it as well. So
So yeah.
yeah.
And like he said too, once we get the jersey made for ourselves, it goes on the website
Yep.
as one of our staff jerseys that
Yes, it
other
does.
people can order. So
Yep.
it's not just going to be one of those one-off whatever else.
With our
You can order
logos
it.
and everything.
You can order it. Your family and friends can order it. And like I said, if you're watching and there's one that we don't, there's one that we see that we don't pick that
Yep.
maybe you would like, then just let us know. We can send you the idea or send you the copy of that design, and then Coolwick can make that for you.
Yeah.
So,
They're good people there. They take good care of us, and we're excited to start a new partnership with them. So,
yep,
Trevor, welcome.
yep.
Thank you.
Glad to have you.
I'm glad
for
to be here.
Final
Thanks.
episode of Rise and Grind.
Yeah, thanks for asking me to be here.
Yeah,
It's gonna
man.
be a fun time.
Yeah.
So, for those of you that watch Brad and Kyle or the House channel, there was a video that Trevor was in here recently, so you possibly, perchance,
Uh-oh.
could have seen him.
Let me duck down here.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So yeah.
No judging here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I need to turn this up because I'm trying to watch the chat here, and I don't even have
I've
this
got
in
the
chat
chat
view.
here. I got you.
This is a rare strike for a lefty at Aaron's in Belton, but yep,
And then Tony Resnick. But there you go.
yep,
That is the Trevor Lee Baumgartner.
yeah. We're gonna play this a few more times because it's fun. So yep, silky smooth style there.
There we go. For those of you that know who Trevor is or don't know who Trevor is,
Yeah.
kid is pretty
Now you
dang
know.
good.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
wouldn't say
definitely
that.
know. Oh, stop it.
Yeah, wrap a 7 every once in a while, and
I do leave my fair share of 7 pins,
Saw it today.
Yeah.
along with 8 pins and 9 pins.
Also, a little quick shout out to Trevor. He did win the Topeka Top 10 tournament
yeah, he won
today.
the.
I
So,
won
did, yeah. That was a fun tournament. It's a good time.
better give
Yeah.
a shout out to
Luke
my
was in-
wife. Better give a
Luke-
shout out to
yeah,
my wife.
Amanda.
too. My wife
Amanda
won
Haas,
today, yeah.
She won as well.
Yep. Amanda, yeah. These two won. It's one of these things. There's no prize fund for it, but basically what they do is in our city they take the top 10 averages, male, female, senior, youth, whatever else, and they have a tournament for them at the beginning of the following year. And so we 5 games qualifying, cut to the top 3 for step ladder. They had something going on later today. Normally it's top 5 for a step ladder. It was fun for me to make it again because after last year I made it, and it's the first time that I won any top 10 period, and I thought it'd be really cool. It was really cool to win it my last year as a righty,
Yep.
Yep.
and the next goal was to
Make it as a
make it
lefty.
this year.
Yep.
As a lefty.
And yeah,
Yeah.
the bowling, the execution part didn't really go that good today. I was hoping to make the step ladder and give it a run, but it was interesting.
Yes, we have seen the lefty that throws it backwards.
Oh, yeah,
he's
yeah.
a normal competitor at Nationals. Have you seen him?
I have not seen him.
Well, there's
I don't know.
there's the backwards bowler,
know
and then
that.
there's
Oh,
Diddy,
yeah.
Diddy Cagle the second or something like
Yeah,
that.
there's a new
that kind
guy.
of shoves it or whatever.
But there's a guy that bowls.
So-
Literally, he backs up like this and throws it like this.
No
Mhm.
kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He
competes like that.
stands with his
And
back
is
to
he
the
good?
line.
Is he pretty good?
He averages around 200, I
decent.
think.
Yeah, he averages around 200. Throwing it backwards, he's not
Wow.
even looking at what he's doing. He'll look at it afterwards.
Wow.
But yeah, it's,
How do you hit a mark not
I don't
knowing
even
where
know.
Would
you're
you
throwing
say
it?
that's the typical
I don't
spray
even
and
know.
pray?
Arguably,
Yeah.
yes. I would say the typical. I'm not gonna say lefty, but
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh, okay, now you guys
spray
gonna
and
punch
pray.
me?
Yeah.
Lefty on a house shot. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, lefty on a house shot.
Mm.
That's-
Yeah.
Even better, he is a lefty.
That's one of the,
Technically, would that be considered a lefty? Does he throw with his right hand? That's the question.
Throws
he
it
throws
the
with
left.
his right hand,
Oh,
but
yeah,
he
he
throws it
does.
backwards,
That's right,
so yeah,
he
he's
does.
always on the left side. It's
I
not
mean,
like
I
a
guess he
righty
would
throwing a
have to if
backup
he's
ball.
backwards.
But he's still kind
Yeah.
of on the left side of the lane, so he's a lefty.
He's a lefty, really.
Yeah.
Which-
Yeah,
which makes it,
yeah,
he
that-
throws it right-handed, but he's a lefty.
I mean, I guess if your ball goes right, you're a lefty.
Yeah.
Whether it's backup, lefty,
It's
you know,
true.
throw it right-handed, doesn't matter. If it's going right, you're a lefty. If it's going left, you're a
Hey, you know,
Yeah.
if you can pull that off, I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah,
The ball would
kudos
be
to
across
that.
the gutter
Kudos to
cap.
that guy, man.
Yeah.
I would fall on my face. for
That's
sure.
all.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Be in the hospital.
Tim Cagle II has quite the unique style.
Tim
as a
Cagle,
lefty
yeah.
trainer. Yeah, Tim
Yeah.
Cagle. Yep.
Yep, yeah, because he
I'm
doesn't
gonna
have a
to look that
backswing.
up.
Tim Cagle kind of.
Yeah, he doesn't. Actually,
I'm
let
gonna
me
write that
see
down.
if I
Actually.
can.
I'm gonna write that down on my
Well,
phone,
this
so-
is what
Backwards
we've got
board.
the TV for. I might even be able to
Heck
be able
yeah,
to find it
let's see it because I have
right
not.
daggone now. So
It's an old video.
not
You're gonna
seen
find
this.
it. Backwards puller. No, find the backwards puller first.
That's impressive.
Tim Cagle's
How
the
does he?
two-hander.
How does he plant? Does he plant or does he? Yeah. I mean,
No, he just kind of does this. This is Tim Cagle. This isn't him. But this is another
Yeah.
unique style.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's not the guy though.
So yeah, that's a backup
Okay.
ball. I
Yeah,
can-
here you go.
right.
They've cut this up. But yeah, he doesn't have a backswing,
Huh?
and he's good. Like this is a region. This is the finals of a regional.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No. This is the finals of a Flow Bowling Summer Tour. He wins the.
Oh,
He's
okay.
got a national title.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because he shoves it like this, but then he has a lefty follow through.
Yeah. This is a summer tour. He has a national title, I believe.
Yeah. Uh huh.
And this is why they say the left side's China.
Thank you, Trevor.
Yeah.
Now we have to find the backwards bowler. We just have to show you the backwards bowler.
Yeah.
If you've not seen him,
Yeah,
we've got to see it.
that's still impressive though. I mean,
I mean, because he's literally flicking it.
yeah. How?
It's like a push flick.
I don't even. Yeah, my hands wouldn't work. It wouldn't.
Here you
work.
go, right there.
Yeah.
You just have to kind
Oh,
of.
that's crazy.
This is an old video. This guy's been doing this for a long time. Here you go, right there.
Wow.
Watch this, Trevor. That's him. Hey.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like
Brooklyn or not, that's still a strike. 10. You gotta
Yeah.
hit 10 to get 10, right? That's crazy. Wait, no way.
yeah.
Covers it.
He's
I want
pretty
to see him
good.
shoot a 7-pin.
Yeah.
There's no way.
There you go. Yeah, he carries like a lefty.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? What do you think? Like, what made him want to try that? I wonder. I'd be
I don't
interested
know.
to ask
That-
him.
yeah,
You know
that's
what I
one of
mean?
those
Like,
things.
what would make you want to try to go
Yeah.
backwards instead of forwards?
Yeah, that's one of those things. That's like, how do you even start with that, or where does that
Yeah.
even come from, or whatever? And
Maybe I'd
I
do better if
remember-
I tried it.
since somebody said to me when
Strictly unique, maybe. I don't know.
I said that when I switched to lefty, you know, part of it was because I just didn't have the strength, and the other part is I had the chicken wing thing that really restricted what I could do, and I thought, you know what, I'm pretty good up here. Now, if I could just get that to match down here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like, oh, so you became a lefty on a house shot?
Okay.
Shut up. Thanks. But,
I mean, hey, the left side is very friendly at times,
I mean,
Yeah.
if it works.
as we know, and
it
then
works.
other times it is very, very.
well,
rough.
that's the funny thing too, is that Packy, because that Team Calm, the video that everybody was in, and we were at Belton,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
you were the highlight. So there was 6 bowlers on a pair. There was 4 righties, 2 lefties.
Yeah.
You pulled a 220 out somehow.
Yeah. I don't
Packy
know.
shot 180. The righties shot 250 something, 279, 297, and 300.
That was game
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was game 1, and it's like.
Yeah. That's just a couple
And
weeks ago.
then-
It's like
and then-
one of those moments where it's like, okay, so, you know, you can't give all the credit to the left side when it's super easy because it had to be playable for the right side at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that we go over to Olathe the following day for the singles tournament, and that was tough.
Yeah.
You weren't. Were you?
No,
I wasn't
he wasn't
there.
there.
I
You
wasn't
weren't
there,
there.
but I heard it.
Oh, I was
that
there.
One was, that one was brutal. But
was
I
hard.
think Packy shot 1280, or no, he averaged like 210 at Belton that day, and then averaged 250 on the tough pattern somewhere else that nobody else could
On
hit.
the tough
I
pattern,
did-
that was rough.
I did hear though that urethane was in play.
Ur-
I could be wrong here. I
Urethane
didn't.
was in
I was
play.
gonna
No,
say
no, no.
that.
Yeah,
Urethane
the
was in
stuff-
play.
If urethane's in play as a lefty,
The lefties literally had the wall.
This-
with-
that-
and
this-
you have an alright amount of
Yeah.
hand, you know what I mean, and you can get that 7-iron with the urethane.
Yeah,
It's hard to beat.
There was a lot of urethane going down the right side that day. They just got stupid tight.
Yeah.
I mean,
What
they just couldn't
pattern
get-
was that?
I can't even remember. No, it was Mercury, Kegel Mercury.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Was that
Mhm.
41 feet?
It was tough and it was flat and it was whatever else, but the top four were three lefties and an angel.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got a
Oh,
good
yeah, I
question
remember-
here
I
since we're
remember
kind of just chit chatting.
Oh.
Hey, how do you guys
Yeah.
work on your mental game? Trevor, we were just talking about this.
Yeah, we were just talking about this
Yeah.
before we turned this thing on
Told you
because
this was gonna happen.
Trevor's girlfriend is, what does she play? She volleyball, softball.
Yeah, she's a big
Just-
sports fanatic. She
just
played
sporty.
everything: basketball, softball, volleyball. She
Mhm.
was a really good volleyball player.
She did tumbling.
Yeah, she did all kinds of things.
She did
she's
gymnastics
very
and stuff like that?
talented, and we actually got her into
I was her
bowling.
tumbling teacher.
Oh, no kidding! I didn't know
Yes.
that you. I didn't know
Mhm.
that. Wow, that's. we
She
learned
can
something
still
every
do
day.
some fun tricks.
Yeah, so
Hashtag
we got her into
Palm.
bowling.
Yeah.
What?
It was-
2 years ago?
Yeah, I think it's 2
I think
years
it's
because
2 years
this is
ago.
the end of her second full season, I think.
Yeah, and
Make sure
she.
nobody's commenting on the buffering because the TV upstairs went weird.
Oh,
I just wanna make sure.
no, everything.
We look like we're going smooth here.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
everything looks good.
I just
Caught
want to make sure
up.
it's just the TV and it's not.
You're gonna be a
Well,
little
no,
laggy
my
here.
phone tried to hook up as soon as you turn the TV on. My phone tried to hook up to it, so that might.
You're gonna
have
see
been
a
the
little
stuff.
lag here
Yeah, which makes sense because.
because we're streaming from the phone.
Yep.
But everything seems to be going good here.
Okay, as long as nobody. I just want to make sure.
Can you guys
I
give
think
us a
we're okay.
comment
Okay.
and tell us if you're seeing buffering or anything? Because
Yeah.
everything seems to be going smooth on our end.
Or if it's delayed or something.
Yeah, tell us if there's any tech issues or anything.
Help us out. And hopefully you can hear us okay. We've got a couple
Anyhow.
mics sitting in front of us, so hopefully we're doing okay here.
Yeah, yeah.
Sound sounded great. It just all of a
Okay.
sudden my picture upstairs watching.
All right, so mental game. Back to the mental game, talking about Haley.
Yeah, so she.
Volume could be turned up, so yeah, just talk loud.
Or
Okay.
pick it up. Oh,
Yeah, so.
We could also,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
if you're gonna talk, pick it
Okay.
up. Just
Yeah.
hold it right there.
I can
just
pick
like
it
that.
up. Yeah, so no, she's been in a lot of sports. She's very athletic, and got her started a couple years ago, and she hates me for it because bowling's a hard sport. It's not something you can just pick up, and you be better than everyone. That's not
Yeah.
how this works.
it's a
You
lot
have-
tougher than people
you, yeah,
realize.
you have to
what it
work
is.
at it, and you guys know that. I mean, you guys are bowlers, so and everyone listening's bowlers too. So everyone knows that bowling's not an easy sport. Long story short, she has some mental not issues, but mental problems with when she leaves a 10-pin. She thinks she got to strike every frame. As we all do,
Yeah.
bowlers.
Uh-huh.
Got to strike every frame, and when she leaves that 10-pin, she can get a little frustrated sometimes. And I tell her, I'm like, you just got to have that 5-second rule. This is what I do personally. I got a 5-second rule. It's one of those things where, you get mad for 3 to 5 seconds, and then it's done. Because you can't control it anymore,
Exactly.
and you can get as mad as you want. Don't break anything. I'm not promoting that.
Now,
but
are you telling people to get as mad as they want, Trevor?
but you can
Yeah.
get as mad as you
Yeah,
want
as long
at
as you
yourself,
don't.
but
are we
don't.
talking Tom Hess mad?
Oh boy. But the point of the matter is you just have to really move on from it, and that mental game's got to be strong in bowling, because if it's not, man, it'll bite you in the next frame, and the next frame, and then it'll turn into a game, and then before you know it, it's the whole
It
set,
turns into a tournament or
Yeah.
a league.
the whole
Yep.
tournament, because it's one of those things where you can't let it go, and letting go is the number one thing in bowling, in my opinion. I think that's important.
100%.
So,
Yeah,
I don't know
because
about you
can.
guys, but-
Well, no, that's a really good point because, nobody. When you're bowling in a tournament and you watch somebody else like a Dylan that is good and he has a rough tournament, it's real easy to think, oh gosh, well I need to do something different because I either suck at this house or I suck on this pattern or whatever else. Nobody really cares.
Right.
Yep.
So you can think, oh God, I was bowling with so and so. Maybe we're crossing next to Brad and Packy or something, and gosh, they must think I'm terrible or something like that. But it's
Yeah.
like, everybody has terrible tournaments. Everybody
Oh,
has
yeah.
terrible games. Everybody has frickin' meltdowns.
Oh,
I
for
think
sure.
Sean Lavery Spar down there in Texas.
I just wish you said that pink chair too.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Trash can.
we're getting close to beer time. You grab us. You good? You good? Talk.
Yeah, but Sean Lavery Spar was doing great, and then his give me my Rattler there. I need to try
Oh,
that.
you're talking this
Yeah.
last weekend in the.
yeah, just
Yeah, let's do that.
heck yeah, pass me my Rattler down
Here
here.
you are, sir.
Um,
Yeah,
Seen
he had
this,
a-
by the way, Luke.
huh? Yeah, he showed it to me.
It's crazy.
I haven't had it, but
He had a very rough last game. I think
Okay.
he shot like 130.
yeah, he shot $130 his last game and missed the cut by 3.
And see, that's just a prime example.
He
of-
had one of those melt. He said it was just the worst pair he's ever gotten in his
Yeah.
life. And there's some times where stuff just goes sideways and goes wrong.
Yep.
So he's throwing it great for like 7 solid games, and then hits a wacky pair, and then it's done. But
Yep.
nobody's going to think, oh man, he shot 130. He must
Yeah.
not be that good. And if somebody is saying that, they're stupid.
Yeah, they don't know bowling.
Yeah. So you gotta shake it off. Oh, if he was, I
Yeah.
could shoot better than 130. It's like, well, yeah, he just shot. He just averaged 230 or 240 for
Yep.
7 games, and then barely missed the cut because
Every
of that one game.
every bowler out there, no matter how good, how bad you are, you have had that 130, 140 game where nothing went right.
You're in the middle of it, and you
Nothing
know when
went
it's
right.
happening too.
Yeah, and it's just like, really? And maybe it's okay, you leave for me, a 7-pin.
Yeah.
You whip a 7-pin, and then the next frame, you leave a 6-8 or something.
Mhm.
It's simple. It's as simple as that. And then you maybe strike, and then you solid 7-10. You just get some bad breaks. Like, it's one of those things where no matter what, in bowling, you can't control the outcome. You can only do one thing, and that's throw the bowling ball.
And
Or
that's-
start a day going lower 8, set, or
Yep.
just a ring 10. What do you go from there? What do I do? Where do I move? But at
Yeah.
that time, honestly, you just keep throwing.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Yep. You can only throw it, and
You can easily fry
The
out
rest
2
does
frames into
itself.
a set, a block, anything. Just easily.
Yeah, and one of the roughest things about bowling too is, if you're playing basketball or baseball or anything like that, if you make a good shot in basketball, it's going in.
yes, I love that you brought this up.
And in bowling,
Love that you brought this up.
you can pure a shot and think it's perfect, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's some transition there that you didn't know about, and so
Yep.
We haven't
that's
took racks into play either.
yeah. I mean, that's
Or
that's
you
some
haven't
of
even
the-
taken bar reaction. I mean,
That's a fact. too.
simple wiggle.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things in bowling that are out of your control, and even
Yep.
when you execute and make a great shot.
Oh, wow.
Tom Patton has a rule in Lawrence for bowling
He does.
the league. He moves every 2nd and 7th frame.
I did not know that.
Every
Yes.
single 2nd and 7th frame,
Wow.
he moves.
I thought it was Russ.
No,
that's Tom Patton.
Tommy.
Oh, I think you might either I heard you wrong or you misspoke because I've heard you say that before and I thought it was Russ.
No, it was just Tommy.
Okay.
Regardless, that's pretty
But he
crazy.
moves every 2nd and 7th frame because he's found out, you have 8 bowlers on a pair,
Yep.
and you give it about 5 frames, and you move before you give the lane a chance to tell you to move. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mistle. Sorry about
Sorry,
that.
we have the
Yeah.
pups and Haley,
Yeah, Miss
Trevor's
Missile-
girlfriend next to us.
Yeah,
Do
Miss
you
will
want to
be
say hi?
Miss will be in friendliness.
We were just talking about you a couple minutes ago.
This is a prettier picture than the 3 guys out there.
Wow.
What do you
Definitely,
think?
yeah.
That might be worth looking a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm really glad that you brought up. I'm really glad that you brought up sports. Like other sports, because
uh-huh.
LeBron James. Let's take him for example, or
Yeah.
Clayton Kershaw, or I mean, we can just keep going down the list. Of all-time great athletes in my era, at least. That are great at their sport and have conquered many things in the sport. Those guys are always good.
Mhm.
And yeah, they may like have bad days, but I mean, even their bad days are better than our best day.
Oh, 100%.
Like if we were out
Yeah.
there, our best day is not even close to their bad day.
Yeah.
On bowling, it's the opposite.
It's 100%
like-
the opposite.
You could be the best in the world, the
The-
best, and you could get beat by somebody who's a beginner because of many different things.
Yeah.
Either whether it's bad breaks, or
Bad ball
transition,
reaction.
bad ball reaction, anything. Like it can be a number of things. I mean, that beginner bowler may have a career game and shoot
Yeah.
210, 220,
And guess
and then
what?
you
Your
have a bad
tournament's
game and you
over.
shoot 170.
Your tournament's over.
I
or
mean,
league or
Yeah,
whatever.
the amount of variables that change, it's
Mhm.
like weather in golf is what
oh
I kind of
yes,
equate it to.
it is.
And weather
Because
plays
you
into
can,
bowling.
yeah, you can take a great golfer.
Yep.
But if you put 25 miles an hour wind going sideways,
Yeah.
and they've got a dog leg left, and the wind's blowing the opposite direction or something.
And
Yeah.
you can see it though.
Yeah, because people look at a bowling lane and say, well, it's the same lane, it's the same pins. Well, it's like, well, yeah, it's the same hole in the golf course too. What's the problem?
Mhm.
Well, it's different if you have wind going with you versus wind
With
coming
you,
at you
Yep.
versus rain, sunshine.
Yep.
I mean, if it's rained like it rained this morning, Michael Colombo was going to go out and golf afterwards. If the fairway's dry versus an inch
Wet
of rain on
versus
an inch
wet,
of rain on
yeah.
the ground,
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
going to affect how you play the golf.
Oh,
hole.
absolutely.
And so you can take a great golfer and they can have a terrible round if the weather sucks,
Yep.
which is the same thing. If we've got a tough oil pattern out there, or it's humid outside or something like that, then the approaches are going to be sticky.
Yep.
Versus if it's a little bit drier, they might be slicker. Or if it's in the winter, the lanes transition differently. Normally, the lanes are dry. They play drier in the summer because of the
Yes.
extra heat. They
Just
because when
evaporates, the oil evaporates so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
faster.
they naturally hook a lot more in the summer. I mean, I could be speaking out of turn here, but in my opinion, everywhere I've always gone, summer's always it hooks
Yeah.
more because
Mhm.
naturally it evaporates
It's
quicker.
the heat and the humidity.
And
That's exactly what
I
it
mean, you're naturally going to see more friction.
Yep.
And because of that, you either got to throw it harder, you got to throw something that gets down lane
does. Except royal
cleaner.
has
And
not been that way lately.
that's the thing is,
Yeah.
there's just so many variables, like you're saying, ball reaction, ball layouts, reverse oil, on the lane. I mean,
Yeah,
40-foot oil, 35-foot
We haven't even
oil.
started talking about
Yeah.
forward oil and reverse
Yeah,
oil.
we haven't even
Yeah.
we haven't even gone into the the whole technical side of things. And
Yeah.
I agree with you. I relate bowling a lot to golf, and that's why I like golf so much because
Golf and bowling are
they
a
both
lot.
require really great mental games.
Yeah.
And in order to,
And decent physical game too.
I would agree with that.
But
Yeah. I would
if
agree
you
with
don't
that.
if you don't have, speaking from my perspective, there's only so much that I was able to help a bad physical game, because I could make it workable, and I think
Are we talking like a Charles Barkley type physical game? Did you ever see Charles Barkley swing? a golf club?
it wasn't that bad. It was pretty bad, but it wasn't that bad.
Are you talking with the hitch?
Yeah, well,
Okay. Have you seen it? His old swing.
Sorry. I
Yeah,
was reading.
You're good.
he'd get in the middle, and then he'd get to the bottom,
And he
he'd
does
do
this, like,
Who's this?
Charles
Charles
Barkley's old
Barkley.
swing.
Oh, I didn't. I've never seen that either.
yeah.
Gosh, you guys are.
Yeah, I know. We got
You got all
Okay.
kinds of treats for me
Now
today.
Now we're pulling out Charles Barkley's
Yeah.
his old golf swing. This is the craziest thing you'll ever see because he plays golf like crazy.
Is he pretty good?
No.
Or
No.
No, he's
I
not.
think he's
okay.
actually fixed this now, but here you go.
Okay.
Here you go.
Oh boy. Okay. I
Watch this.
just saw the screen and I.
You can watch behind you.
I don't know if this is
It's
the,
slow-mo. It's slow-mo,
Oh,
but
that's
watch
even
this.
worse. Oh my Lanta. No way.
And then he reloads,
Yeah.
reloads again.
Is this real or
This
is
is
this
real. He's not horsing around.
It,
Why?
just
Does he not have?
do it. Ah.
I mean,
That's like
Have
one
you
of-
ever seen that?
yeah.
It's like, do I want to do it? Do I not? I don't know if I can.
Don't
I
ever
don't
feel
know if
bad
I
about
can
your
see
golf
this.
game.
So, yeah.
That guy plays golf religiously.
Yeah, I think we wit. This is
But-
no offense to Charles, but I think we just witnessed the world's worst
Yeah, I know.
swing.
What we come
So,
up
yeah.
with
we have
on
ever
the last
seen.
episode of Rising Ground.
Me bowling right-handed was not that bad, but there's only so much. Like, I did quite a bit with what I had to work with but it also taught me a lot of stuff, because it's like, well, I can't do this and I can't do this and I can't do this, so
Yeah.
I have to outthink
Right.
everybody else. I have to pay more attention to ball reaction and lane play and whatever else, and so I got a really good eye for that stuff. But if I can ever get the left side developed now to where I actually have the physical part of it is better, I just need to work all that together. And like we were talking about Haley earlier,
Yep.
she's competitive, and just leaving a 10-pin friser out. Yeah.
As she's sitting right here.
Yeah,
to the
She's sitting right here.
Yeah, that's why we're all looking over here,
Yeah,
because she's
yeah.
sitting over here, as I was just
doesn't-
telling.
She doesn't get upset at all.
And
Oh, yeah.
yes,
Never
that
gets
OSU
mad.
fan, he does not. He actually fixed his golf swing. Sorry, continue.
But with as much sports as she's played and as successful and competitive she's been before, all of a sudden being back to kind of square zero with
Yeah.
the physical side of bowling thing. Like you can watch stuff and you can see what everybody else is doing, but until you get the coordination down and knowing, okay, well, I know what this is supposed to look like. What's it supposed? What does it feel like?
Yeah.
So, and then how do you replicate the feel, and
Yep.
how do you make it consistent? How do you, and so knowing what to do and not physically being able to do it.
Yep.
That's what kind of drove me more away from the right side of things. It's like I can see all this stuff. I know exactly what I'm trying to do. I just can't physically
So
do
you
it.
couldn't
That's-
you couldn't feel. Now this is me asking because I really didn't know this. You couldn't feel very much when you were bowling right-handed. You like
No,
you couldn't. You knew what you wanted to do, but you couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it because I didn't have the physical function. It felt terrible 100% of the time. Because I mean,
Gotcha.
when you're going back and your arm is twisting, and then you're kind of doing
You're kind
that.
of corkscrewing it.
Yeah. Yeah, and because I couldn't,
Yeah.
stay behind the ball like
Yep.
I can do better on the left side, I couldn't stay behind the ball because it just my wrist, my shoulder, and then that would cause a myriad of other problems that just I lost a lot of strength when I blew my shoulder out, and so I could not throw the ball the way that I wanted to throw it. I didn't have the physical ability to do it. And when I tried, it hurt, but knowing what I needed to do and not being able to do it just drove me insane. And it's kind of the same way on the left side building, and I knew it was going to be that way, but it's kind of like, okay, well, I have better physical function. I'm just lacking the coordination right now and
Yeah.
the repetition and getting everything kind of lined out. And then, like we were talking earlier about the left sides and the right side being different, I thought, okay, well, if I can just get the coordination down, then I can just kind of mirror a lot of the stuff that I did on the right side of the lane or that I tried to do on the right side of the lane, and it's not the same. So not only am I having to develop coordination, I'm having to relearn a bunch of what I knew about bowling just because the way that you approach things is different. You might take 8 balls to a tournament, and you might take 8 balls to a tournament, but you're taking balls based on how the lanes are going to break down. How many games are we bowling?
Yeah.
On the left side, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. No.
It just
You're looking for the
I'm
r-
bringing urethane,
Yeah.
urethane,
You're looking-
urethane,
Yeah.
urethane.
Well,
Sorry.
hold on. That's not true.
I know.
yeah.
We're looking for the right ball motion, the
Sometimes
right
we
ball
throw too much
reaction.
in.
Sorry, I'm gonna throw.
And if that means a purple tank's in there and that's
Mhm.
giving the best ball reaction,
That's okay. You can throw that.
that's
one.
what we're
Yeah.
doing. If that's a
Sorry,
purple
Luke.
hammer, then that's what we're doing too.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I mean, Luke knows. Luke, you know me. Like I actually try to stay away from urethane as much as I can,
Yeah.
and I know you do the same thing.
I use it
But
when I have to. But
I do love urethane. I do. I love urethane, and I'm good with it. But I would prefer to stay away just because of carry thing. Carry issues. Naturally, you're going to carry
well,
better
you're
with
gonna
a
hit the
reactive ball.
Yeah, you're gonna hit the pocket.
Yes.
But I mean, what's the? So if you go like triple open, triple, or whatever, is that better than strike, tap, tap, strike, tap, strike, tap? Whatever else. I mean, you can if it's more of a risk reward thing with reactive, but you can throw 2 or 3 opens a game and still shoot 220, as opposed to getting tapped all game and shooting a clean 190 or 2-0.
I mean,
I completely
what
agree.
urethane's gonna do is it's gonna control the pocket.
Yeah.
And it's gonna control the pocket. And I'd rather do that
And-
all day than I would.
And back to your point, you looked at me funny when I said that. The reason why I say that is because I like throwing urethane when it's in play,
Yeah.
mainly because I'm decent at making it work.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, like you have to be as a lefty.
Oh,
like
yeah, no
if
doubt.
you're not, then that's where like I can get better than the other lefties because I've done it for so long. But
Mhm.
I would much prefer to throw a reactive ball in my hands than a urethane. Hence why, I mean, when I go to league, I know no one should carry a urethane ball to league. I mean, I guess you can, but
You can't,
if
but
you
it
did, but
yeah.
I'm gonna throw reactive all day,
There's
on a
a
house
lot
shot.
of lefties that will
I
carry
know,
urethane
I know
for
they,
a
I know
house
they
shot.
do,
But
and
there's
they
no need for it.
they throw it on everything.
But that's the thing
but-
is you throw it so often, you get to throwing something, and then you get comfortable with it. It's like all
Yep.
the college bowlers that I kind of make fun of that you see them come to a house shot tournament, and they're all bringing in their
Purple
they've got
hammers.
their
Yeah.
shirts tucked into their slacks, and they've got their white belts on,
And they bust out the whole rack is
and
full of purple hammers.
they're trying to play the 3-board with urethane on a house shot.
Yeah, that
because
just-
that's what they do in college, like
Yep.
24/7.
Let's take Packy. Packy throws urethane on a house shot. I'm sure he does.
on a house, no, he doesn't.
Dude, he
Pack-
throws urethane everywhere.
You want me to text him?
I
Yeah.
can reach out to
I
him too.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't-
get Packy on Zoom
I-
right now.
I don't
We'll
think-
talk about this.
I'm not
But-
speaking for Packy, but I
Him,
I
him
He
don't-
was throwing a purple hammer at Aaron's.
that
okay.
doesn't-
Aaron's don't
Aaron's
count.
doesn't
It's
count.
still a
Aaron's-
house shot.
No,
No,
it
it's
does. No,
not.
it's not. Like
No, it's not.
I'm glad Luke is here to defend me
No,
on
it's
this.
not.
Oh,
It is.
come
It's a
on.
it's a house shot that used to be really easy on the left side, and I don't know what they did. I can't tell you. I have no clue what they
I
did.
don't know.
It used to be a joke. Like you
But
literally
boys,
could walk
was it
in.
still a house shot?
No, you can literally walk in and close your eyes, blindfold. Okay, this is exaggeration, but throw a shot as a lefty and you're going to strike.
Yeah.
And as of November of 2020, that changed. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what changed or anything. I can't tell you, but
Yeah.
I do know that the house shot changed, and ever since, myself, Packy, you, I have not seen a lefty whack that place yet, because it's different now. When you put a pattern down, obviously things change. So
It's better
it may
on.
it may
Actually,
be better.
You even
but
had some rough times there with patterns down.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's hard in
just
general.
rough.
It's
Rough,
rough in
period.
general, but
Isn't that one of the places where even the rail doesn't hook in that place?
yes, and,
Well,
the problem is it hooks either way too early or it doesn't hook at all.
Yeah.
And I talked to the tech guy there, and he said
Yeah.
it's because the one or two board is up higher than the other, so that's why
okay.
it feels like it's a downhill
So
slope.
now, boys, and
So your
girls,
ball
we're in
feels like it's
topography.
climbing up the
Yeah.
hill. Yeah, now we're getting
Well,
into topography.
and see
Well,
that-
that's not even topography. That's a lane problem.
It's
Or
still
not a
topography,
lane
though.
problem.
It's still
but-
topography though, because the way the lane
Yeah.
is.
would that be a topography?
Yeah, it would be
Yeah,
topography.
it would be a topography thing.
Yeah.
But there,
Yeah.
you have at Belton, you have
Lane
the,
characteristics.
you have the
Yeah.
5 board,
That-
but
I
you
guess that
have
makes
to
sense.
hit it at a specific distance. If you get it inside 5, it's hooking. If you hit 4, it's gonna hang. You
Yep.
can hit the 5 board, but you can't hit it too early. You have to hit it down closer to the break
Yeah.
point, because if you hit 5 early, it's gonna go to 4 and then it's gonna keep going. If you hit 5, well, it's not gonna hit 5 if you hit it too late, because it's just not gonna get out there. So Belton is really, really tough, and that's
it
one of
is.
those things. That's what.
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, on the right side, you have that.
the right side. Okay,
Yeah,
the one time
the
I'm gonna
right-
say this.
The right side at Belton
If you
is
wanna-
like the left side at Royal Crest.
Yeah, if you want to win a tournament as a right-hander, go to Belton, Missouri. Aaron's
Aaron's
Family
Family
Fun.
Fun Center.
Aaron's
Yeah,
Family
yeah,
Fun
yeah.
Center. You heard it
Make
here
sure
first.
We get this.
You're gonna win your first tournament at Aaron's Family Fun Center in Belton, Missouri, because
Yeah.
the right side is completely walled.
Lunar actually is a place you guys like too, though. Right?
Oh
You
yeah,
said, right?
Lunar's a very good center for the
Trevor,
left side.
I'm gonna
Yes.
hold this one.
Yep.
Trevor, I have watched you bowl an 8-game block at Lunar, fry out for 2, and then only
Average
proceed to average
250.
250
Yeah.
for the entire tournament.
Yeah, that's.
And still fry out when you're still shooting 250 every game.
Well,
Ladies and
when
gentlemen,
Well-
this is Trevor Baumgartner.
Well, here's the other thing about the left and right side.
Right,
of the
Haley?
lane. Because we don't see transition as much. On the left side, it feels like all I have to do is throw it well. That's literally all I have to do, because the shot doesn't. You don't have to worry so much about throwing the ball and going like, "Oh, what the crap happened?" Because there's been 7 or 8 other people that's thrown a ball on that lane
Yep.
between the last time you threw it. So on the left side, it feels like, you know what, I'm in control, mostly in control, because you're going to get tapped. You're going to have.
You're gonna get the normal bowling.
You're-
That's
yeah,
just normal bowling.
It's the
Yeah.
normal. You're gonna get the normal bowling stuff, but on the left side, it feels a little bit more mathematical, where you can say, all I have to do is find the shot. Once I find
Yep.
the shot, make good shots.
Yep.
Right.
And when you throw it like an idiot, it makes it really difficult. But
I'd like to actually speak to that a little bit, just a little,
Yeah.
because I completely agree with that. You know, being on the left side, I've always been on the left side my whole life,
Obviously.
and that it's
I'm missing
it's a game.
The left
It's a
side,
game
left
of
field.
inches. It sounds stupid, but like
It is.
it is a game of inches, because it's all about finding the right ball reaction with the right motion, with the right lane surface, and the right pattern.
yeah,
That's all it is. And I make it sound easy, but I mean that's really hard when you go to tournaments, because once you find that, you're right. There's
Yeah.
no more traffic. I mean,
Uh-huh.
you may have one here and there, you know, you may have a few that you're gonna hit, but overall,
Mhm.
Jonathan is gonna move way more than what we're ever gonna move.
Yeah.
100%.
So like
As a
what,
right-hander.
like what I was talking about earlier, you know, you'll take 8 balls in, he'll take 8 balls in, but it'll be a completely different thought process
Yep.
in, you know, in getting to those 8 balls.
Yep.
Because we're taking stuff, it's like, okay, well, I know the house, I know what the pattern's going to be, and so I'm going to take some stuff that you're comfortable with, number one, and then you're going to take some stuff, you're going to take a little variance, but if one ball comes out and that's the ball, then you're probably not going to look at the other 7 the rest of the day. Unless you get into some stuff where you know a certain pair or a certain end of the house is a certain way. But on the right side, you're looking at stuff, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to take a strong ball to start off with, and this is the ball that I normally transition to off of that, and then this is the ball, if they get crispy, I'm going to need the length out of this one and the pop out of this one, or I need something to roll a little bit sooner, or whatever else. You take a bunch of different ideas, and
Yep.
most of the time I find out on the left side, I take a whole lot more similar ideas because they work for me,
Yep.
or I take variance within a certain zone or a certain idea, where on the right side, you take all kinds of different stuff because
Yeah,
you're going to
all
need
different
it
layouts.
in the
Yep.
different, and
You
in
know
those
that in
different-
game 4, you're going to need something that you can get
Yeah.
a little bit further left with, and that's going to bounce in the back end.
Yeah.
See,
A little bit
on the
a little
right
bit
side,
more.
we just move left, 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 and find something, get
Yep.
down lane a little longer, keep moving left, left.
Well,
Well, and
it's
that-
it's kind of like today.
It's like a lefty using urethane. It's like
Yeah.
righty. It's like, oh, just move left and hit it more.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
It is. It's very similar.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like today, you know, you just run into, we were talking about it while I was bowling.
Yeah.
I was on a pair that was hooking like crazy, and then randomly, it
9
just,
and 10.
Yeah.
and randomly, I don't know what happened, but it kind of just,
It started wiggling.
it kind of wiggling on me. And I'm like, whoa, what the heck? This ain't good. So I had a ball that was getting down lane and then hooking. And I couldn't do that no longer. You know, I had to move a little bit right, and I had to loft it just a little bit, and something that I was going to pick up a little sooner, believe it or not, because I needed something that was going to see the mids cleaner and better than something that's just going to get further down lane. And it's those kinds of tricks, I think, as a lefty, that, you know, you have to have in your bag, because it's one of those things you really don't know what you're going to run into on the left side. So you have to have, I could be wrong, but I think lefties have the most tricks out of anyone. They have to,
Yeah.
because you just don't know what you need when you need it, you know? If it
Actually,
needs to,
you say that, this comment actually comes into play. Also, the patterns they put out, if you're a lone lefty, you're at a great disadvantage since you cannot break down the pattern fast enough for it
yeah,
all.
and
So,
that's
yeah.
a,
That
yeah.
plays right into play there.
Yeah, and that's a very valid comment, because, I mean, you're at a major disadvantage with
Yep.
breaking down wise. So
Yeah.
you have to figure out how to get your ball seeing the lane the right way.
Mhm.
And the thing is, guys, and this is what we were just talking about, when you do get that reaction and you get your ball seeing the lane the right way, then the left side's easy.
Mhm.
Now all you got to do is shut your brain off, back to the mental part,
Yeah.
shut that brain off, and repeat.
Mhm.
That's the thing, and that's the thing as a lefty in bowling.
But sometimes finding it is tricky. Now
Oh, it is, yeah.
going back to the right side, being able to be versatile
We should have
left to
called
right.
this show
is-
Lefties versus Jonathan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, he's
But-
sticking up for
well,
right.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna
He's
say.
going back on the right
On
side.
the right side of the
I'm
lane,
just here, yep.
it's more
You're just
important to be
assuming you're
versatile. On the right side, it's more important to be versatile left to right. You need to be able to move laterally, because that's going to be your biggest help most
Yeah.
of the time. Is once the
Yep.
track burns, get inside, use angle, use oil for hold, and then use the track friction to bump. But the lefties have to have a little bit finer, finer control and finer
Yep.
adjustments, because most of the time when you're on a fresh shot and you find kind of the zone you need to be in, then you need to figure out how to make those small little adjustments. Like if you watch Russ Wilson, for example, he will increase his speed, he will increase his tilt, he will change his angle of rotation.
I'll let Angel handle that.
Yeah, I'll show it. But so Russ actually makes very, very fine, very small adjustments.
Russ Wilson?
Yeah, sometimes you'll see him roll a little bit more. Sometimes he'll shoot it through the fronts a little bit more. Sometimes he'll get it. Sometimes he'll
Yeah.
he'll
You know, he kind of bowled, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but it seems like he kind of bowls like a lefty.
He
in
bowls
a,
like, yes.
in a sense, because he
Actually,
doesn't move
yeah,
left
that's
a
very,
lot,
that's
like
very
really
accurate.
left.
Yeah.
He tries to stay on top of the friction as much as
Yeah,
he
he
can.
stays on top of
Yeah.
it. He keeps
Yeah.
his angles really tight. He doesn't give away the pocket at all ever.
Yeah.
He's always going to hit the pocket. And if
Yep.
he doesn't, it's just okay, whatever. Forget that frame and move on. He's got one of the best mental games I've ever seen out of anybody ever.
Oh yeah.
And it's in respect to everything he's done because he's got Eagles. He could have won titles out on tour. I believe that very firmly, but he didn't need the attention or the affirmation. Or he didn't need that to tell. He didn't need that to prove that he was good or whatever.
No.
He was so secure.
Ross, you just realized you're surrounded by cheaters. That's my boy.
Yeah, Curtis is a lefty though, so he gets
I'll
it.
still give you a cheers,
Yeah.
cheaters. Sorry, but yeah, you're 100% right on that with Russ.
Russ is a right-handed lefty because the fine, very small, and watch him.
And I
Next
truly-
time you get
Yeah.
a chance, really watch him because he'll leave a 4-pin. He won't move his feet. He'll just add a little bit of speed.
Speed, or he'll flip it a little more. He'll change his
he'll
hand
flick
a
a
little
little
bit.
bit more. He'll come up a little bit more up the back of it, or these very
Yep.
fine things. Because if he's in a zone that he likes, and he has missed room to the right, he has missed room to the left, and the ball's reading a little early, he's not going to all of a sudden, especially on a house shot, because you're moving into more volume. As small moves on a house shot, especially to the left, are freaking huge
Yep.
because you're moving into a crap load more volume, and just a little bit of angle and a lot more volume can
Yep.
result in a lot bigger
Fact.
reaction on the lanes.
So I got a question then for the right-handers.
Before you go into that question, I got a question for you since we're still on the left side.
Okay.
Trevor, do you find with your rev rate you move right or chase head oil or ball down and trap it more generally?
Dang the audio. Was it?
Can you hear me?
We need to talk louder.
Can you hear me?
Check your battery, Alma. Yeah, we probably just need to talk a little bit louder.
Can everybody give us thoughts on the audio, please? Because we can
Yeah,
make an
yeah, let
adjustment
us
if
know.
need
Yeah, we
to.
can-
Before I answer that question, I want to make sure I
Yeah.
can be heard.
Mic check
I
1
got
2.
the phone on my ear. It's quiet. Sounds good
Okay.
now.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll try to hold the mics a little bit closer
Yeah,
here.
So
Okay.
if somebody's gonna talk, we'll try and pass it off. I
Yeah.
guess you're fine. Okay.
Yeah, we could do that.
So here's the question again. I'll read it to you, Trevor. Do you find with your rev rate you move right and chase head oil, or ball down and trap it more generally? That Curtis, that's
The
my
right
Curtis.
side or the left side never changes. What is this moving you speak of?
So I would say it depends. I feel like I have a fairly decent amount of revs. So generally, what I would do,
He misses it at the bottom.
I try to. Recently, I used to move right and ball up and get something that reads a little quicker, and kind of just not throw it left, but in a sense get it to the dry
On
quicker.
one of my videos, there's one of Trevor.
But here recently,
Keep going. Keep going.
I started throwing some 2-inch pin balls, and it all depends on what my ball's doing. So the thing about a 2-inch pin ball, and Luke knows a lot more about layouts than I do. Middle of the third game, got to scoot a half or so.
So yeah, for reference, if you didn't see earlier, this is a shot of Trevor throwing the ball in. If you go to the house,
Yeah, so
the house bowling channel,
right.
Brett Packy posted something.
There's also one
Yeah,
on my
right
channel, by
there.
the way. On
So-
my channel, I have a shot of Trevor.
so
on
in-
last video.
so
Yeah.
in that sense, right
Yeah,
here, here's a
Bill.
perfect example.
I have one of him engaged.
In that sense, like I'm on a house shot and it hooks a lot left. It hooks a lot left. So when I get my 2-inch pin out, I tried it. When I get my 2-inch pin out here, all I'm gonna do is plaque 7. And the more I chase it right, the more it's just gonna plaque 7.
But what's funny is the look on your face is like, wow, that did not do what I expected.
So
it to do.
it's like wow, I struck as.
Yeah, it's like wow, I struck at
Yeah,
Aaron's
it's like-
Finley Fun Center.
Oh
Answer
sweet.
that question. I'm gonna hop out.
But honestly, I would say, Curtis, do you have like a mid rev rate? What's your what's your rev rate? Is it more middle down the road, lower end, higher end? Do you know? Or
No, I'm not entirely sure I've seen Curtis throw the ball. I might have.
the reason why I ask is because if you wouldn't want to get right, and Luke, you can correct me if I'm wrong because you're on the left side too. But you wouldn't want to get right if your rev rate isn't very typical
Yeah.
340 to 350. Okay, so in my opinion, if I was you, I would
Yeah,
I would trap it more.
That's closer to me, and
Yeah.
that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
Is I've found that
Yeah,
I really like. I can move deep if I want to, but I'd rather move left and get firmer.
Yeah, no,
And just-
and that's exactly that's the perfect thing to do, because the reality part of this is if you move right, you're getting into the righties burn up area,
Yeah,
and you
their heads.
gotta be really soft with it at the bottom in order to get through the fronts clean. And
Yeah.
you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I see the lane. I'm like, if I'm moving right, I gotta be really soft at the bottom, but yet I still gotta hit it. And as a lefty, if you have 340, 350, like you're saying, revs, it's perfect to get left. I see Luke do this all the time. Get left and trap it more, because you're going to hit, like when it hits, it's going to hit a heck of a lot harder than what it's going to when you're moving right. And it also, there's a lot of variables in bowling, as we were talking earlier. Like, it all depends on what the lane's telling you. So, like, in the video, I don't know if you saw, but in the video that he had of me, in my case, I tried moving left to trap it more. I couldn't, because it literally
It didn't
just
work that day. I had
it
to-
literally was just too dry, and it would read
It
it'd
was-
read at the front of my feet.
It was
So,
taken off. So
It's one of those things, you got to have the right motion too. So it's got to see the mid lanes and the back lane the right way. My move is scoot aboard left, get cleaner ball like a Verge
Yeah.
Pro and such.
so
And
So
and
the thing here on the left side of the lane is that the track on the right side is normally like at third arrow. The track on the left side, if there is one, is about second arrow. Because the righties are the tracks, it's going to burn up, they're going
Yep.
to move in, they're going to hook it more. Well, the gutter for righties is like the 5 board. Like, if you hit
Yeah.
5, that's as far out as you want to get it, because the track area or the worn friction in the lane actually help stabilize the ball reaction. And on
Yep.
the left side, there's not as much use, and so it stays fresher longer. And so we tend to have, it tends to be sharper ball reaction on the left side of the lane, which sounds great to a righty, but it also means that you have more severe results if you miss. The smaller misses get penalized more on the left side of the lane than they do on the right. You don't have that, especially the tug room.
It's
Like,
touchy.
the lefties, I think, like at Royal Crest, even though Royal Crest is pretty wide open, there's more room. I feel better if I miss left than I do inside, because if I tug it, it's still going to boink down lane.
really, see, I'm actually the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I look for my miss in. And me personally, and again, this is just me personally, when I'm bowling, I try to look for my miss room in. If I can find shim,
Well, you're going to be you're kind of a right-handed lefty though, because you like to like to hook it, you like to roll it,
yeah,
and so for me playing straighter, if I tug it a bit and it gets in a little bit, it's just going to go. Now, if I get it out, it's going to hit that friction. It's going to have time to climb back.
no,
So,
you're
yeah,
right, yeah.
For you, and the way that you throw it too, you kind of push it that direction.
Push it to the
too.
dry,
So
yeah.
if you get it to dry, it's just going to check and go nuts, or it's either going to burn up or roll out or something
Yeah.
like that. So
And I think another thing too, if in the sense of, I'm relating back to that video, Curtis, if you have not like if you can't get left and you can't get up the lane.
send me a video, Curtis.
Yeah, send us a video, Curtis, please. Breakdown pair.
Yeah, I
Put
would
it-
like to see a video
Yeah, put
because
a
then
video
I
in
can
Discord.
I will
I
be
can
able to
put you on
kind
the
of
live
gauge on.
stream, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of be able to gauge on like how you look and everything. But
Trevor will be a special guest on the breakdown pair.
the breakdown pair.
The breakdown pair.
Well, actually, it's the
Um,
breakdown, isn't it? And
so no, what I was
The segment
saying.
is- Yeah, the segment is the
oh,
breakdown.
it's finished. You're good. Yeah, we'll let Trevor finish here. Sorry.
No, so what I was saying is if back to that video, if you don't have that left, like if it's too dry and you can't move left, another thing about, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but every single house that I bowl in, it seems like the track always hooks.
Yeah.
So one thing you could do is always move right and try to get something that's a little smoother, that sees the mids a little better.
Yeah.
and use that 9-10 board, 9-10 board 10 board area as your gutter, you know,
Uh-huh.
or even 8. Even 8 board's fine.
Yeah.
Because all that right in there is gonna always hook, no matter what you're on.
Yeah.
It's always gonna hook there because
Uh-huh.
naturally, every single bowling center hosts leagues,
Yeah.
and most bowlers bowl up
Yeah.
10
Se-
board,
second
8
arrow.
board,
Yeah.
Curtis
9
just sent
board.
us something.
Oh.
There's a video. To be fair, I'm not even like every
Haven't
shot
got it
in
yet.
that video. But there you go.
Okay.
Did you send it in Discord, Curtis, or did you send it in our email? Because our new email is breakdownpair@gmail.com. We will talk more about that here later.
So when it's over bouncing, I tend to get something that stands up a little bit when it's dry. Helps me fight that wet dry.
Give me a second. Yeah, send it to our email, please, because we can pull it up on our screen real quick. It's our last. This is our last Rise and Grind, so we're kind of just winging it and just having some fun here. Hey, Brian, what's going on, man? That'd be Ilpad, right?
Yep, I'm pretty sure.
Trevor, there's your.
Yep.
That's your boy right there. Say
Brian, how's it going, man?
hello.
Yep.
That's the big Trevor Baumgartner fan.
Yep.
Awesome.
But I mean,
Here we
when,
go.
when the guy throws it like this, I mean, how can you not be a fan? Butter.
I think he's garbage.
I agree. I completely agree. Don't want to throw it like that.
Personally, yeah.
There we go, Curtis.
All right, let's see.
All right,
this.
let's see this.
Can actually be able to tell easier. Yeah.
So what are you seeing here?
Is that a pro? No, that's not a promotion. That's got some white in it.
Oh, he's running it out. Get the douche
Yeah.
canoe
I want
going.
to watch
Yeah.
a couple more.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
give us that.
There it
That's, oh man, he's even got the hand out too.
That's my hand. That's what I do.
Yeah, so first thing that back to what I was saying, I actually think something that reads those mids. So that ball right there specifically is going pretty far down lane from what it looks. I can't.
That's
Hold on,
a
let me see
solid
again.
piece too. It looks
It,
solid.
it looks like a
Yeah,
phase
she's-
promotion.
She's hooking down lane.
Yeah.
So something that's a little cleaner, I would say, that picks up a little quicker in the mids, and you could jump right there, and you could literally just right there, that shot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
That was pretty
and
good, yeah.
I know you 8-pin there, but
Urethane.
oh, there it is.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Like
that last shot that you 8-pinned on, that's what I'm kind of talking about. I think that is what you would need to do, and something that's a little not as bite down lane. It looks like a lot of your stuff. Yeah, it looks like a lot of this stuff goes pretty far down lane. Would you agree, Luke and
Yeah.
Jonathan?
Yeah.
But on the left side of the lane, the back ends are
Yeah.
sharper.
Yeah, they are. They're real sharp. So it's kind of important as a lefty, and I'm sure you
To-
know this, and everyone knows this,
yeah.
but
Blending
you got to
the-
be able to blend the pattern.
Mhm.
You know, blend's a good word,
See,
like
you
you
guys
just
have
said,
to do
Luke.
that so much more
Uh,
than what we do.
You got to be able to
It's
blend the
amazing.
pattern and let it see the lane the right way.
Well,
This one.
and
I'll kinda hold it out.
and conversely, on the right side of the lane, the flat we leave wrap 7, wrap corners a whole lot
Yes.
more than we leave flat one. If
Yes.
you leave a flat one, you're just throwing a bad shot. But on the right side of the lane, you get some traffic, you burn up the fronts and the mids, but then you get more carry down on the back end, and so they tend to have the flat 10s that are just a result of getting some carry down and whatever else. So they actually have
Or
to
the ball just puking.
yeah, having more shape
Yep.
on the right side is generally not a problem. Whereas
No,
we almost
yeah.
have a little bit too much shape. and
Yeah,
we need
no.
to tone
Well,
it down,
it's
calm it
because we don't have as much traffic on our side, so the back ends are just crisper.
down. Mhm.
Trevor, do you
And-
tuck your pinky as a lefty?
So it depends.
Do you, Luke?
It depends on the situation, and what I mean by
Yeah,
that
I just
is
do it because
I don't know if Justin that Justin that
Yeah.
asked.
Yep.
Justin, I don't know if you saw the video of me bowling, but I'm kind of
I'll just share this one 'cause-
I'm a little rolly
Can't hear
with
me.
it most of the time. Wouldn't you agree, Luke? I'm rolly.
yeah,
I'm pretty
you,
rolly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like to
So-
roll the ball definitely.
When I'm being rolly with it,
It's good.
especially when I'm on
Want some of
something
it?
hard,
Oh.
I will I will not
to
tuck
open-
my
I need to open
pinky,
that up
and
as
I
well.
will
I need to
I
open
will
up-
stay behind it.
I'll save that
I
for-
consider tucking the
You
pinky,
wanna talk
me
everything down here?
personally, as something that I'm going to need when I'm coming around
one
it.
after
For
that.
instance, today, which I know you didn't see me bowl today, but today I was tucking my pinky because I was on something that was hooking and I needed to get around it more, get through those fronts cleaner and better and crisper. So I was tucking my pinky so it would basically shoot through the fronts. Because obviously, if you're rolling the ball and you're trying to get through the fronts clean,
Yeah, those are good.
you do not want to be rolling the ball at that point because it's going to pick up earlier. The more you roll it, the quicker it's going to pick up. So tucking my pinky, I do have that as a tool. I'll say that. It's a tool in my bag, but on a consistent basis, I do not tuck my pinky. Do not.
So you do it depending on the shape you're wanting to get.
Yes,
Okay.
depending on the
Yeah.
shape that I want. So if I'm trying to
Do
get
you?
it to squirt through that
I
front
tuck
part
it-
of the
I tuck
lane,
it 24/7.
There you go.
you do tuck it 24/7. Really?
It's a comfort thing.
So,
Yeah.
so I don't know about you, but for me, something I do if I want to change shape, I will. So usually I'm spread. If I wanted to change shape, I'll tuck pinky. I'll kind of like this, or I will tuck. Like you can
Yeah.
do all different kinds of things. It changes ball motion. It's crazy.
I kind of wish I had a ball here because I'd be able to really show you. Like, I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm really,
Nice set of
the-
nationals. Look.
this part of my hand and this part of my hand, my index and my pinky are really spread out.
Yeah.
That's
like-
how I am. I'm like
I
that.
basically want the whole paw of my hand
Yeah.
on the ball.
Mhm.
And that's kind of, that helps.
Gosh.
That,
Yeah.
yeah, I do have some big hands.
Mhm.
That kind of helps. That kind of helps with rev rate. So, and
Can I borrow some?
I really try to expand my span as much as I can, and tucking the pinky is a tool, like I said, that I have. So,
So I got a question here. I don't know if you guys want to touch on this. What's a ball right now that's a good 4 ball, and you want to control the front to back motion?
Okay,
So Luke,
I
let's
have-
start on the storm side.
I have
Yeah.
well, I have a series on the channel that I call the sport essentials. So coming from college, you have your 1 ball, your 2 ball, your 3 ball, your 4 ball, 5 ball.
Yeah,
spare
he's got a
ball.
really good channel.
So
Or
that's
video.
kind of the way that you handle collegiate arsenals. I think for most people is you have a number for each specific kind of idea. So the 4 ball is something would be like a hustle PBR or something, which is kind of like a baby phase 2. So it's not quite as strong, or something like an IQ Tour Solid that's going to not hook a whole bunch, that's going to be pretty controllable, and even something like that on the left side of the lane booms quite a bit. I mean, you can hook an IQ Tour Solid pretty good. But definitely controlling front to back motion, keeping your angles closed, whatever else. IQ Tour Solid. You've seen the Hustle PBR quite a bit on TV shows here recently, but yeah, something like that's got a lower RG, so 248-ish to 252-ish, and a medium differential. So IQ Tour 029 to about 035 is what you're looking at for something like that. So
Okay. No more on that one. Did you want to
Yep, I'm
input on
good.
that? 4
Yeah,
ball.
he throws all kinds of stuff. Though.
Yeah.
So he's got some big bowling stuff. He's
I-
got some radical stuff.
Yeah,
He's got some storm stuff. He's got some motive
Trevor's
stuff.
not
he
a
got,
big ball guy. He's.
I have.
Sorry, I shouldn't have put it that way.
No, you're good. I throw everything. I
So
have
if you
storm
don't-
stuff.
If you don't want to throw out a 4 ball piece, you don't have to. So. It's just-
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Luke. You want something, like an IQ Tour, in my opinion, is a good. And,
Yeah.
and me personally, a good
Mhm.
IQ Tour is good for a ball, but
Mhm.
I literally throw everything. So it's hard for me to defend one company or the other. Storm, Motive, Big Bowling.
Venom Shock, Jackal Ghost, pass it on.
Yeah, you name it. Like
Yeah.
I have
That's
a
I'll
lot
give
of
you-
different stuff. So
I'll give you that.
I don't
no
really
problem.
want to stick up for one company or the other.
Yeah.
No, you're good. I won't put a whole lot out there because it's Luke's channel. But on the motive side, you put a Jackal Ghost, a Venom Shock. You can
Jack-
take a Venom Recoil.
Well, Jackal Ghost is probably too strong to be a 4 ball, so it's kind of a lower end.
Oh, I'm sorry.
lower-
Yeah,
lower
4
end
ball,
control,
4
so
ball,
yeah.
then a Fatal Venom or a Venom Shock. Easily.
I actually
Right?
Yeah, Venom Recoil, something like that.
Recoil, yeah.
You know, actually,
Sorry, I forgot that. I thought I read it wrong.
one ball that I have used a lot lately, and like later in the blocks, like I consider it a 4-ball later in the block.
Yep.
IQ Tour Nano Pearl.
Yeah.
That ball is insane.
Yeah.
Like I will say, I am very impressed with that ball. That ball is, when it hits the pocket, it is insane.
Yeah, it doesn't really. It's got extra boom.
Yeah.
Or it's got more boom than normal IQs.
Yes,
have.
Brian.
At the same time, it's still got that same.
Use the
roll,
ghost.
So it's got that
No,
same
yeah.
continuous heavy
Yeah.
kind of.
You're right, and that's just as of right now. I mean, like I said, you can ask me in a couple weeks to a month, and it may change because I rotate so much. But
Oh yeah, you go
that-
through stuff.
that Pearl, that IQ Tour Nano Pearl is pretty dang
Used
good.
to not be a fan of Motive, then I got a Jekyll Ghost, and now I see the appeal. That a boy. Now that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that Jackal Ghost is pretty good. That's one of their best balls. I will say that. I've
was
seen my buddy. So Dylan Burns is my partner and everything, and I
can pull Dylan up because he.
yeah, let's
he
show
actually
Dylan.
shot 297 on that.
That was actually the
that same
first
video.
honor score bowling ball I shot with a Motive staff contract, by the way. Was a Jackal Ghost.
Really?
First 18.
I mean,
that was it. You were there. You sat there. You were right
That's
next
right.
to me.
Yeah, that's right.
Shot 3 bills with the Jackal Ghost through the first 18.
Oh yeah.
in
look
Royal
at this.
Crest.
New ripcord velocity.
Thank you for doing that for me.
Yeah, Dylan was.
Good advertisement. Thank you. Appreciate
Dylan
that.
was the unofficial 9-game scoring record holder. He was at Snowman Doubles, and
And Trevor's in
it
there.
wasn't sanctioned.
Tony Resnick, by the way, throwing at ripcord velocity. He had a monster day that day. Look at that boy just miss it at the bottom. Oh, my goodness. He just missed it at the bottom for 7.
Yeah.
I've never seen that guy miss it at the bottom.
Yeah.
But
Ripcord
no,
velocity is nasty.
I think that as far as a 4-ball goes, that actually would be up there. Believe it or not, I think ripcord velocity
Oh yeah,
because it gets down lane. Anything that gets down lane, wouldn't you agree,
it's very
Luke? Something that's kind of smoother. That's
Yeah,
a little
as long as
Yeah,
you
'cause
keep
the-
smoother,
the
but still gets down
as
lane
long
and
as
wants
you
to
keep the
hook.
shine on it. As
Yeah.
long as you keep the shine on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 4-ball can be several different things.
It can, yeah.
be more
Yeah, it
high
can.
road territory, or
Yeah.
it can be earlier, smoother control stuff. But
Depends on the person and depends on what shape you're looking for.
100%. That the new ripcord velocity is going to be more skid flip because it really is. It's about a middle of the pack skid flip, but when it boinks, it boinks. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
I've been rolling my dark code every night since release, but I'm pretty new, so I wouldn't know the difference. All
should I shoot my ghost in league tonight?
100% you
Yeah,
should.
I'm looking for a replacement for something close
what
to a
I was
high
reading.
road. Would you say all road or wild streak to replace it? Actually, they're still making high roads, so I'd just get another high road.
I was about to say the same thing.
So it's
yeah.
one of those things
Yeah.
where if they make something that you already like, it's you like having something new or something fresh, but at the same time, when you know
Don't
exactly
change
what you
works.
want,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't. Especially when you're higher average, more competitive tournament bowler, you want what you know works. Like it's people say, okay, well, there's
What
this,
should I get to replace my high road? Get another
So-
high road.
So I'm not speaking at it. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here. I have not thrown it yet,
High road?
and I'm not just trying to promote Storm here, anyone in general. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, that dark code looks
it's pretty
it
nasty,
looks
yeah.
pretty good too. Like
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like if you're wanting to replace, so I understand. A lot of people they want the new stuff. They don't want the new stuff or the old stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're looking for something new, and Luke, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't thrown one yet, like I said, but in my opinion, that dark code looks like it would be a good replacement for that. Would you agree? As far as
For which ball?
replacement close to a high road
Ooh, it's going to be strong.
to say like all road or wild street to replace it.
It's gonna,
Yeah, the dark code is a whole lot stronger. It's like
Is it?
if you take the
It
code
looks like
black and
it looks
add
like a
like
code black.
3 or
That's
well,
why.
yeah, if you take a code black
basically.
and you add like 3 or 4 boards, that's a dark code.
Really?
That cover is so much
it's a
stronger.
brand new cover.
So maybe my code black, man, I used it as my 4-ball, 5-ball,
Yeah, well, it had a stronger core, but it had the high road pearl cover.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a very weak cover. This one has that big,
That big cover, yeah.
beefy, chuggy core.
Yeah.
But then it's got that cover that just it's got like the Axiom. It's got the Axiom pearl cover mixed with the high road pearl cover.
So here's a good question. When was the last time one of you guys worn out the cover of a ball? I don't think I've ever done that. Like, for real. I just drill so many, move on, or they crack before they wear out. Can't say I have ever worn out the cover before. I just say, I'm done with it. What about you?
If you take care of them, if you get them detoxed, if you keep them surfaced up, it's really hard to actually wear a cover out. But I haven't really. And most of the time when balls die, like I really like when they.
Yeah, you'll know when they die.
Yeah, when they die because they just kind of spin and whatever else.
Puke.
My old Hammer Taboo was good, but when it died, it was godlike. I mean, it had the gas mask core, and when it died and just kind of spun, it basically turned into a promotion, is what it turned into.
Oh, so you threw the crap out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that. I can't tell you that I've ever had a ball just die on me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, by the time I throw the crap out of a ball, but then I'm like, I'm just gonna replace it, something else.
Yeah. But going back to the point that I was making about if you have something that you like, stick with it.
Yeah.
Because the ultimate idea is, you want to have fun while you're bowling, but having fun, especially for higher average tournament bowlers, having fun is making money, putting up scores and making money, and so that's why I have 10 promotions, because that is just the it ball for me, and so I'm gonna ride that thing until until I run out of them. Basically, because I found that that's what works for me on a lot of different things, a lot of different places.
Yep.
Centers, lanes, conditions, whatever else, it seems to be in play.
And I'm kind of like the Jackal Ghost is the same way for me.
Yeah.
I could have 9 or 10 of those and be happy.
Yeah.
Venom
Because
Shock,
ultimately it's about consistency, predictability, and finding something that just fits your game.
Somebody just sent us in an email to our new email. Keep sending those in. We like it. We'll hit on those and touch on them as much as we can.
Yeah, why don't we kind of dip back to that?
Yeah,
for a
let's do
second
that while
here.
Trevor's gone here, going to do what he's doing.
So
Somebody just fell.
they're playing with doggo puppers.
Okay, so it's just the two of us. Let's get into our new show just a little bit, and then we can get back into it a little bit because we're actually having a great time here. I don't know about you, but I am.
This has been great.
Yeah. So let's start down. We've got a new show coming.
Yeah.
This is the finale of the Rise and Grinds. It's been a good run. Episode number 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is kind of our new set. So if you
It'll
zoom
change a
out-
little bit.
Yeah, it'll change a little bit. We have some other things coming. And what's going to end up happening is Jonathan's going to sit on the other side of the TV, and we're going to have
Here.
like we've been doing.
It's going to look more like this. Here we
It's
go.
going to look more like this. We're going to be playing videos just like we've done the rest of the time here. We're going to have some special guests on our Cool Chat presented by Coolwick.
Thank you, Coolwick.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, promo code Rosedal10 or Haas10 if you want to
Yeah.
get yourself a New Jersey T-shirt, hat, sweatpants, whatever you want. Or like this.
Yeah.
Coolwick hat. Oh, did I got the logo? Nope, other
Yeah.
side. Sorry.
Wrong side. Yeah.
These are
Thank
Coolwick hats,
Yeah.
hand stitched. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yep.
Trevor's coming back. I can
Yeah.
hear him.
They make all kinds of stuff. Oh,
Uh-oh. What's up?
hi, buddy.
We're touching on some other stuff, and then we'll get back into
Yeah,
our
we're
stuff real quick.
we're catching up with the. So the new show, and this is kind of our new set here. The new show is going to be called The Breakdown Pair, because most of the time, what happens when you go to the Breakdown Pair is
It's rough.
you get a
You get a beer.
something's broken down. You get beer, and then you kind of reset and you go. So. But we wanted to make it less of kind of two guys just drinking on a couch and make it a little bit more structured and Storm.
He's over there. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of
Yeah.
fun with this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, I think.
So yeah, we've got a set now. This is my old set that I used to use for live streams way back when I did those kind of more structured things.
But we've revamped it.
But yeah, we kind of changed it. So we got a new TV. We're gonna play some stuff on there. We're gonna have visitors through Zoom. We're gonna have several different segments, like
Some
we've
live
got-
visitors.
Yeah. We'll have some live visitors, but we'll have some internet visitors. to do some commentary on stuff. And then we'll have several different show bits, like we'll have Getting Tapped is one of the first ones. So my brother and sister-in-law, who are part owners of Norseman Brewing Company, actually my sister-in-law is one of the majority owners of Norseman Brewing Company. We're going to have a different Norseman beer every single week. Then we're going to have some other stuff like Market Zero. So send in your bowling fails or something like that. Our email address to send anything and everything to questions, submissions, ideas, whatever else is breakdownpair@gmail.com. That's breakdownpair@gmail.com. So if you have an idea for a show bit, or if you want to submit something for one of our show bits, we'll have some more information on that. But we also have the next big thing that we're going to do is a Coolwick design contest. So to this email, you will send design ideas, mock up something, find a
Unlimited designs. You can send as many as you want.
Designs. Now the winner has to be in the lower 48 states, because you're going to get a prize that we need to ship to you, and international shipping right now is not good. So,
And also, to touch on that, if you want it for Luke, you need to make sure you put it in the subject.
yeah,
For Luke, or Luke design, or Jonathan design.
yeah.
Hawes, Rosedal, whatever you want. So,
And they use Shutterstock. What?
you got her? Thank you.
Shutterstock.com is a photo site, and Coolwick pays for use of those photos. And so if you find a photo on Shutterstock.com that you think would make a good jersey design, send it in. If you have the technical know-how to kind of mock up and design a jersey, go on ahead and send that in to breakdownpair.com. We'll have a specific video to kind of break all that down and tell you about the design contest, but it's going to run through the end of August. So August 31st
At midnight.
is the cutoff date. Send in your designs. We are going to go through sometime early in September. We're going to go through all of them. So it's not like we're just going to kind of look at everything behind the scenes.
They're all going to pop up right here.
Yeah, we're going to put them all on the screen. So if you send a design in, you're going to see it on the screen. It's not just going to get lost in an inbox. So because somebody else watching, if we don't happen to pick a certain design and somebody else is watching thinks, wow, that's really cool, I'd like to get that made into a jersey, we can make that happen for you.
Yep.
But what we're going to do is we're each going to pick a winner, and we're going to get that design made into a jersey. He's gonna get one of the design. He's gonna pick one, and I'm gonna pick one. We're each gonna get those made into a jersey for us, and the winner, whoever submitted that design, that's gonna be your prize. You're gonna get a Coolwick jersey, the same thing, sent to you for free. And it also is going to go up on the website as one of our designs. So it's going to be on coolwick.com for other people to order that design too if they like it.
Yep. But it'll have our logos on it. So.
Yeah, it'll have our logos on it. It'll be our personal design.
But you're getting a jersey of that. It won't have our logos on it. You'll get your jersey. So.
Yeah, you'll get whatever, and actually it doesn't even have to be the same design. You will get a jersey of your choice. If you want it to be the same design, cool. If you want something else, it just whatever.
Yeah,
Coolwick
if there's something you submit it, we pick you as the winner. If you decide you want an in-stock jersey, you get an in-stock jersey. So we'll take care of you. Just make sure submit those to breakdownpair@gmail.com, August 31st at midnight. Please submit as many designs as you want.
Yeah,
Can't wait to see
unlimited design.
these.
You don't have to send several different ones from several different email.
Do you
addresses.
have a preferable way you want those coming in?
No, you just need to mock them up, or even if you just find a picture on Shutterstock, because we can look at it and imagine, okay, well, we're gonna have our logos and whatever else. If you just find a certain picture on
there you go,
Shutterstock
Trevor.
that
Same
you
thing with
think
you. Yeah.
this is gonna be this would make a really cool jersey, because all they do is they take the picture and they turn it into a jersey.
That's exactly what
basically.
they do.
But if you have the technical know-how and whatever else to kind of go onto a photo editing site and find like a shirt template and kind of arrange and design different things, the Coolwick artists can do whatever we need them to do. Now there's some stuff like trademarked. We can't put Pikachu on anything or something.
Yeah,
So
we
there's
can't
some
do that.
I was
trademarked-
about to ask that.
Yeah, trademarks.
logos
If anything
and-
there's trademarked, we can't hit up, but we can kind of like a baseball jersey. We can only hit a certain amount
So you can't have Mike Trout.
Well,
For
yeah.
example, you can't have Mike Trout.
No,
hitting a
but
baseball.
We can't-
Coolwick, we do have baseball jerseys. You
Yeah.
just can't put a player's name. You can put your last name with an unknown number.
Yeah,
that
you
you
can't
want.
put like an Atlanta Braves
Yeah.
logo on there
Yeah,
or something.
no, that makes
but-
sense.
I can give you an
And
example
sh-
for baseball.
And Shutter, is it Shutter? What is it?
Shutterfly or Shutterstock.
Shutterstock.
Yeah.
So, is that a website that you? I've never been on it personally.
Yeah,
Is that a
I'll
website
put
that
it
you
up on the
can
screen,
just,
Actually.
you know, you can look at things? Can you import things?
Hmm?
Or is
Yeah.
that so? I've never been on it. That's why I'm asking. I'm
So,
asking what it is.
Let's just do.
Just do snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Snow.
So you pull that up, and they have all kinds of these different.
We're on
images. So
Shutterstock.
if you find something on here cool, if you think, making a snowflake jersey would be cool. That
Any of these images we can do.
Angel would love that. So this,
That's a badass image.
You're fine.
yeah.
Right there, yeah.
So yeah, that would make
Any of those we can do.
that would make a cool looking jersey, because you can just imagine putting the logo right here, and then you'd have your other logos kind of on the chest or whatever, and then
Yep.
that'd be a cool looking jersey. So
That's cool. Yeah, that's a cool image. Okay, cool.
anyhow,
I just was curious because
yeah.
you know,
Are you gonna submit something?
Well, earlier I said, I might be involved with this, so I'm.
Oh yeah. By the way, there's a possibility Trevor might be able to jump in on this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
We haven't announced that yet, but there's a slight possibility Trevor might be
Yeah,
jumping in on this.
There's a slight possibility, yeah.
Sweet.
We might
Heck
have
yeah.
a three-way.
Yeah. Interesting.
But no,
But-
I might be involved with it, and that's why I was asking because I've never been on that
Well,
website,
because it's
so
gonna be the same thing because he's gonna
Yeah.
get the same stuff.
I wanted
Yeah.
to.
So-
wanted to ask about it.
There you go. The breakdown pair will be the new show. I think we're gonna start in a couple weeks,
Yeah, we're gonna start in a couple weeks because we're gonna be out of town next weekend.
and then I have to go work for Motive for a week.
Yeah,
so.
he's got a couple of test drives
Yep.
to go to up in Nebraska.
Omaha and Lincoln. Yep.
Omaha and Lincoln. So if you're around Omaha or Lincoln, Nebraska, and you want to test some Motive stuff out, him
Come
and
see us.
Henninger are gonna be there.
Mark Henniger and I will be there, and we will be running one in Lincoln on Saturday the 9th and the 10th on Sunday. We're actually running them for 3.5 hours each day. So give us a shout. All brands will be there. Did want to touch on a comment real quick. Any recommendations for a righty with 14 speed, medium revs, who wants to play straight up 10, small angles in the league? The original Game Breaker is still the best ball I'd match up with. You guys
Yeah.
want to guess what ball I'm going to say?
Yeah. Venom Shock.
Venom Shock.
There you go. Venom Shock it is.
I had to guess.
Luke, on your end, what would you say?
IQ Tour. I mean,
IQ Tour?
it's hard to get away from the IQ
Got a
Tour because it's
suggestion?
just basic and simple. And
I got to agree with Luke, and back to that righty thing. Can we go back to the question that I had?
Yeah.
So,
Take-
so we were talking about how the left side is weird, blah blah blah, and how the righties jump left.
yeah,
So this is me asking, and curious. As a right-hander, not everyone can just jump left.
yeah.
For example, like you don't really like to jump left.
I don't
So
like to.
would lower rev players, would they rather move right? Kind of like a Russ Wilson,
Yeah,
move right. And I'm not saying Russ Wilson's low rev. I meant
Yeah.
like more. That's what he likes to do. He likes to play more like a lefty.
yeah.
So would like a lower end player move right as a righty instead of left and kind of get on top of it as well?
What the only thing that the righties can really do because of all the traffic and because of how crispy they get, they still are going to have to move a little bit. But we've actually done some layouts and certain ball things for him to be
Yeah.
able to allow him to stay on top of it for as long as possible.
Yep.
At some certain point, it's like frying. It's like being on the same pair for several games and just frying the heads
Sure.
with urethane or something.
Yep.
Once the heads are gone, you have to move inside of them, or you have to just loft over them.
Yep.
So for him, we've worked on stuff. So pin down layouts actually work quite well
On the
on the burn
Yeah.
because they raise the RG, they lower the differential. So what you're going to have the ball taking longer to rev up and roll, and you're also going to have less track flare to grab the lane with. And so we have a couple of smoother balls that we've gone pinned down on. Your VIP Affliction
That ball's amazing.
is one of them because he can stay. It's so smooth.
Yeah.
Number one, and then we put a pin down layout on it just to kind of go all in on the
Amazing.
the burn idea to just
Yep.
like, okay, well, his game is best if he can, keep it as straight as possible, or just play that little belly. Not
Yeah,
necessarily
and that's
fire
why
it
I
in,
wanted to
but-
ask the question
But it
because
allows
some
me to just
people,
kinda just go,
because some people's game, and I know you won't take the offense of this, but your game, for example, you getting left, it's harder to carry, right? No, is it
it's-
right?
it's like-
it-
it's like a lefty
depends on the
movement.
angle
it's
on
hard.
that,
It's
yeah.
harder to
It
carry
is harder.
because it's no rocket science. You don't have Dylan Burns revs,
No,
Yeah.
and
I don't have
you
new
know,
revs. I don't have Luke Rose
so
revs.
for you, for example, you're gonna probably have to, and it's good for people to hear this because, someone like you and even a little more than you and all that, like you're probably gonna have to get more on top of it more than you would
The more
straight left because
yeah.
you're gonna 10-pin a lot.
Yeah.
And that's just my thoughts. I mean, that's
the
why
more
I
I
wanted to
stay
run
on
across
top
two
of the
righties.
the more I stay on top of the friction, whether I'm balling down, would go to pin down, or I'm moving a little left, still staying pinned down. I'm still, as long as I can keep those angles tighter,
Yeah.
I'm gonna carry.
Yeah,
So.
no, and that makes sense because
Agreed?
Yeah.
the tighter you can keep that pocket,
Yep.
it's kind of like a lefty. It's almost back to what Curtis was asking, you know, shoving it in there,
Yeah.
and it's similar, a little different, but in a similar fashion as a right-hander, it'd be kind of the same thing, and you
Yeah.
have to kind of do that sometimes as well.
And I think it's depending on what the angles that you're working with, it can either be easier or more difficult for a lower rev bowler to move in on either side of the lane, because on the right side of the lane they're going to have a bumper and then they're going to have some push in the middle, because you get so many bowling balls going down, they're going to get a little bit of carry and they're going to get track burn and a little bit of carry down.
Yep.
Now on the left side of the lane, there's more friction down lane, so you don't need as high of a rev rate to
Yep.
get more dynamic ball reaction. So their lower rev lefties are going to get helped out by the fact that there's more ball reaction over there to work with.
Yeah, down lane, yeah.
Their lower
It's gonna
rev
be-
righties
yeah.
are going to have to play closer to the
You almost wanna
pocket,
play it like
but
a
they've got
urethane, right?
Hold, yeah.
So you wanted to see the fronts cleaner and better, right? While your back ends aren't as crazy.
Yeah.
Because you're wanting to basically not stay safe, but I'm gonna a lack of better term, I'm gonna call it stay safe.
Yeah.
And you're controlling the fronts
And the pocket.
and the pocket,
Yeah.
and that's gonna be your best chance, because sometimes if you move left, you can't keep up with those guys, and that's just how it is in general. And a lot of people, like, you can't keep up with those guys that have those 500 rev rate that
Yeah.
can literally just wail on it and keep moving left,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense.
And for Steve, it's me. It's usually ball down, stay on top of where I am. See, I'd rather ball up with a weaker pin, and just, you know what I mean. Ball up with a weaker pin, and I'll still have the bounce. That's what I'd rather do.
Like
So.
a 2-inch jackal goes, right? Something like that.
Or a pin down affliction.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
All right, so we got a question here. I do JBT tournaments, and for the finals, we only get 2 shots per lane. How do you guys figure out what ball to throw for that?
I would throw what got you there for the first ball, and the second ball I'd look at something else.
Yeah, most of the time you're going to be bowling on the
Same
same
thing.
lanes that you've been bowling on. You might take it depends on how secure you are with, if you've been throwing something for the last 3 or 4 games and that looks really good, stick with that and just don't even. Sometimes I don't want to look at anything else, because if you do, it can confuse you. If you already have a good look with something and there's no reason to screw with it, I would stick with it. Now, if you're on the flip side, if you are comfortable with what you're using,
Yep.
go on ahead and throw something else. And if it doesn't look good,
Is that twist off? Pop top? There's one up top. Just go with something else. Michelob Ultra if you want. Sorry, keep talking. Keep
yeah,
talking.
we're good.
We're still doing
Actually,
this.
how long have we been?
I don't know. We can keep going. We're fine.
Yeah.
We're still having fun. Let's go.
Yeah, so I
We're going
I agree with you. I agree with you, Luke.
Yeah, I would.
If you have gotten to the finals, you've done your part all day.
Yeah.
Let's keep building on that confidence, and let's
Yeah.
keep, because and as stupid as
Ride
this
the
sounds,
horsey that got you there?
as stupid as this sounds, bowling is it's one of those things where it requires confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've gotten there, then let's just keep doing it.
Yeah.
You're there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially if you're comfortable with what you're throwing.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you're exactly right.
Comfort is big.
If you're comfortable, just keep on a trucking and show them who's boss, because at that point, like I said, you're there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just keep doing that.
Yeah.
You want this, Luke? Because that was supposed to be for you, right?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Was that his?
I don't know.
Beer. Yeah. That's okay.
Oh,
It's all good.
I'll try it. Then.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
No, just give me a. I'll drink it.
No. It's okay.
It's fairly tasty. Yeah.
There you go. Have that.
We're
one.
good.
I'll take
Okay.
this guy.
Here, give me. Give
Yeah.
me. Sorry, we're just passing around.
Yeah.
We're actually having a good
We're-
time here. It's our last.
We're having a
one.
taste fest over here.
We're having
Yeah.
our last Rise and Grinds. We will go over
Brent
all the
Coleman's in
details of
here.
our contest and everything. Uh-oh. Oh, snap. It's Trevor. What up, bros?
Yeah.
Brent Coleman.
Yeah.
What's up, Brent? How's it going, man?
We will have our, we'll go over all the details of our stuff again before we get off here. But, yeah, we're just going to sitting here having some fun. It's our last one before we make a big change. And, yeah.
Yeah, I need to
Thank you for that.
actually.
If
need
I
to
could
go
ask
get that.
one more, what would a ball down from the
Sure,
Venom
get
Shock
Trevor.
and the IQ Tour Solid? I would say if you're going to go on the motive side, it would say a Fatal Venom, maybe a Venom Recoil. Venom Recoil is going to be an asymmetrical solid. It's going to be a little slower, going to be smoother. The Fatal Venom's going to skid flip a little more than that, but yeah, one of those two. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, and our ball down right now from the IQ Tour Solid is an Electrify Pearl.
There you go.
Because they've got very similar cores, and the Electrify Pearl cover is the first generation of reactor, where IQ Tour is R2S. So,
Yep. Well,
Those
what
are
would
what
you
we'd be
recommend
looking
for a
am
ball down from, say, a Venom Shock or a Electrify?
Am I speaking specifically for Storm or
No,
Motive?
Okay.
Or
no, just your mind.
I'll be back. I've got a treat here.
'Kay,
I've got to bust the bottle out.
You're good. We're just gonna sit here and chit chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
my recommendation from a ball down from a Venom Shock or an IQ Tour, I actually really like the IQ Tour Nano Pearl. That's a good.
you would take that as a ball down.
Well, that's a ball down, yes, because it gets further down lane than an IQ Tour does, in my opinion.
Definitely does.
And so that would be a good one. Another one that I've been throwing a lot, and you know this, I would say a shim or an Idea Pearl.
Bust that out there. There you go.
They're
From Big Bowling. by
Yeah,
the way.
they're
Big
so they're it's a company called Big Bowling. They're based out
Bowling.
of
Bring that out here. Talk about it.
they're based out of Spokane, Washington, and I've been throwing their stuff. To be honest, I've said this many times throughout this conversation, but I throw many different things. So this is another example of a company that that I've been throwing, and a shim would be a ball down from that, because an IQ Tour or a Venom Shock would be a shim wrecker, which is the solid version of the shim, and the shim's the pearl version, while the Idea Pearl is the pearl version as well. I personally like the Idea Pearl because as a lefty, I'm looking for something that's going to read the mid lanes, but still gives me that pearl want on the back end, if
Right.
that makes sense. So the Idea Pearls, it sees the mid lanes incredible. And it'd be something similar to, I consider the Venom Fatal is the same way. It sees the mid lanes pretty clean.
I mean, it's clean in general.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
So-
shine out of the box. Here's a good question, Trevor. How often do you catch yourself in those clean weak balls in tournaments?
Well,
A lot of times it just depends on the surface.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
surface
yeah.
conditions. So.
it depends on the surface, depends on kind of what we're seeing. I notice, and this is just me personally, and I think this is Curtis speaking. Yep.
Curtis, yeah.
So Curtis is asking, and I saw a couple of videos of him. I would think it's the same for you. As soon as you start kind of weak sevening, you're in too weak of a cover. You're too weak of a ball. So in my opinion, as a lefty, you
Smell it, can't you?
Yes.
yeah, that's sour.
You can smell it.
In my opinion, you have to, at that point, as weird as it sounds, you have to ball up. And the reason why is because you need to see the mids cleaner and better, because your ball is seeing the lanes and the surface the wrong way. When you're weak sevening like that, how often do you catch? Yeah. When you're weak sevening like that, it's because it's too clean, way too clean. So I see that often, to be honest. I see it often, and as soon as I see that weak 7, that 7 pin that, you know, even if it's like a messenger 7, and it's one of those things, I'm like, man, I carried, but that next frame, I've heard many times people go, whoa, why'd you switch balls? Well, the reason why I switched is because I saw the week 7 coming, and I'll overdo it, and sometimes you got to do that to take that risk in order to get to the next area. So
That's a good answer.
yeah, no, I think that happens often.
That's normally from friction in the heads, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely.
So here's another question. Luke, oh gosh.
Oh God.
I want to see Trevor's look on this.
Boulevard, Bramble
Haley, you want to get in here and say hi?
Come here, honey.
Come here. Come on, let's get in here.
So this is my newly fiance.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we are engaged. This is Haley.
Say hi.
Hello, everybody.
This is
This
the one we were talking about, the sports person
Yeah, this is
earlier.
my little firecracker, the one that I was talking
Definitely a firecracker.
the one that I was talking about, how she just started a couple years ago, and she's phenomenal at volleyball and pretty much every sport, softball,
Which
you name
teaches her
it.
tricks.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, you know, she's
Yeah, we
she's
said
learning.
that. We went
so.
there.
Pins are my favorite. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, right.
We weren't talking
yeah.
about temp heads.
All right, so I'm trying this sour beer, which
Blackberry
just an
sour.
FYI for everyone out there, I hate sours, so enjoy the face.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh no. Yeah. 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 I'm gonna tackle this question real quick. Steve, John, have you found that a ghost isn't strong enough on some sports shots and in any need for a Jackal Legacy? 100%. My suggestion is get a Jackal Legacy and keep surface on it. Keep surface on it. It happens to me all the time. Not gonna lie.
Hold on, here we go.
What are you trying to find? Right here?
Struggle with the burn. So, bowling ball review. I am a two-handed right-hander with 400 to 450 RPMs. I like to play the second arrow, and sometimes I struggle with the burn. How can compensate for the burn and play on top of that?
You got something for that, Luke?
Luke, go ahead, and I
Yeah.
think I got an answer as well. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, if you've got that kind of a rev rate, you just have to learn how to move in, because especially on the right side. Storm, what are you doing? Yeah,
Just being pretty.
yeah, but yeah, but I mean, what you have to do is, if you have that kind of a rev rate on the right side, you have to learn how to move in. It's just like being a lefty on the left. You have to learn urethane. There's literally no way around it. If you want to be competitive, on the right side, you have to learn how to get deep with that kind of a rev rate. And on the left side, you have to throw urethane. You just have to. There's no way around it. If you want to be good, if you want to be competitive, if you want to factor into stuff, there's just certain things you have to do, whether or not you want to do them. And that's one of those things where it's like, you know, everybody keeps talking about Jacob Buttriff from the Purple Hammer. He would be, if he didn't have the Purple Hammer, he would be scoring with something else. And people act like the Purple Hammer has only been good for Buttriff. Everybody else has used it. If you take the Purple Hammer out of if you take the Purple Hammer out of the equation, he's going to be throwing a black hammer or a burgundy hammer, or he's going to be throwing some other type of urethane some way or the other, because that's just on the left side of the lane, especially when you have bigger volume and you have more shape down lane. The urethane's going to dig in early and it's going to control the back end of the lane. So that's the ultimate idea, and nothing is better at IQ tours are great most of the time, but if you need even more control than that, you just have to throw urethane. So as a big rev righty, you've got to get deep.
Yep.
You have to.
Yeah.
That's
No, and
Luke's ready to take that on.
No. I completely agree with that. So actually, you know, I bowl with Dylan Burns all the time, and you know, one thing that he struggles with is he runs into some cliff problems as a right-hander.
Oh yeah.
And one thing that he's gotten really good at, to piggyback off of Luke, it's actually the opposite. moving left is definitely completely an option, which I don't know if you guys know this. I mean, he's one of the best at getting left and lofting it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But-
garbage.
But another thing that he's got in his bag that I think has worked really well is moving right and balling up a little bit. So to,
Right, bowling up.
Well,
Hold on.
Forge flare.
yes, forge
Something-
flare,
something
forge
that's
flare.
very
He
slow.
polished it.
Yes,
stuff.
kind of like a urethane. No,
Yeah.
no,
I
he
thought-
did
He
no.
did no,
it's not polished.
okay.
And he throws, pardon my French, but the living hell out of it.
Yeah.
And he throws it hard and straight. I don't know if anyone has watched Brent Bauer's bowl,
Yeah.
but it's similar.
yeah.
In the fact of,
You're making things awkward.
you,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
in the fact of you're throwing it hard down. I'm making it up, 13 to 8, 13 to 7, and I'm
Yeah.
making it up here,
Uh-huh.
but depending on what you're on and everything, surface and all. But he throws it hard, and he has been really successful at it when it starts getting cliffed. Because I hear a lot of right-handers, like, well, it's cliffy for me. One time it hooks, one time it goes straight, and I actually told him, I was like, well, dude, let's try to move right one time. Let's try to move right and get on top of this and just tackle it and throw it hard. And he has worked on it, and he's actually become pretty good at it. So I think that's another option if you have that capability, because not everyone can throw it hard. Not everyone can throw it with that kind of, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Lower your rev rate, throw it hard. And I'm not saying throw out of your shoes and everything, but I'm just a little harder than what you normally do.
So that's one thing that a lot of people have problems with is learning how to change their hand. And wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, and I just see a comment, isn't that called the Biondo? I mean,
Oh, hey, they've got money. They've got money for nationals now here, so we can figure out. Brent Bowers did really well at nationals. He shot 710 in team actually to get them to 3250.
really?
So
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
well, Brent keeps it. Brent can do whatever.
No,
Like,
yeah,
he
no,
can
he-
straighten up
he's
and
not-
just give it the high
Yeah,
bar one, or he can
I'm
go
not
deep
taking
and
anything
slow
from the
down.
guy. He's not one-dimensional.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I know,
he-
but he does that straight kind of trap it.
I
Yes.
think
Really,
he's done something we haven't done. He shot 899.
Yeah,
he
he traps
traps
it with
it
the best,
really,
in my
really
opinion, as a
well.
right-hander.
well, him and Biondo.
Biondo's the same way.
Biondo's got that knuckleball. that he
Conveniently,
Is that
does.
what you got
conveniently
the-
they're
the-
together in
Yeah.
the same group.
Yeah.
I mean,
Huh.
they work together or
We
not
both,
work together,
uh,
but they bowl
I gotta-
together
yeah,
and stuff.
As long, I've got to check it. Yeah, they got money up, so I got to see what I've.
We bowled Biondo in Swiss last year.
Yeah.
We bowled Henniger, Biondo, and Austin Bolds. And
Oh.
we took majority points, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Almost.
I made $42 in all events and $114 for a 640 in singles.
Boom. There you go. Is that?
That'll
Do
be-
you have your brackets on
Well,
there?
I got to see what
Do you
Chaz shot 2000 at nationals.
Do you have your brackets on there? Or?
No. He got 174 for all events, 178 for doubles, and 150 for singles.
So he's gonna break even
So-
after flight.
Yeah.
I unfortunately did not.
Come on, get in here.
I unfortunately did not get to go to nationals this year, and I'm
Yeah.
very, very, very upset about that.
You can talk.
I gotta ask, how was the left side out there?
I
did-
threw a promotion up 5 for team. I threw a promotion up 5 for team and a pitch black for 6 games in singles and doubles. And Chaz got trapped in team because urethane did not look good in team because it was too early.
Yep.
We tried throwing urethane. We did a team practice session. We had a couple different ideas, and urethane was just too early. It's not like it was too. Yeah.
I'm gonna do it again for her.
Yep.
But
Hit
go
it.
ahead, keep going. I'm
Hit
listening.
it.
Drink more?
Different kind.
Oh, it's a different kind?
Oh,
no, that's not. No,
so
it's not a
full
different
of
kind.
shit.
No.
I still got half the bottle up there too.
Keep drinking it. You need to get us another.
Yeah.
beer on that.
But yeah, so there wasn't enough volume in team because
for urethane.
they really lowered
'Cause it was too early.
Well, and the righties actually they got kind of a lefty experience this year at nationals because they only had one team per pair, and they only had 4 people per pair for doubles and singles. So the right side just didn't break down this year. Now they softened the patterns up. So there was a little bit
I
more
heard
shape.
that,
There was a little
yeah.
bit more shape to them. They took a lot of the reverse oil away. They took a lot of the oil away, period. Normally the volumes are like 28, 29 mils at nationals. They were 23. The team was 23.9.
25 to 27 mils, somebody said?
Yeah, 25. That's no. Actually, team was 23.9, and double and singles was 24.6 or 24.7,
Ooh.
which they made it a lot drier, so there was a lot more friction.
Oh,
But there was enough. There was enough oil in the fronts for double and singles for urethane to look good, and double and singles was a shorter pattern this year. Normally,
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Normally,
Yep.
teams short and flat, and doubles and singles a little bit longer, a little bit more volume to work with. They flipped them this year, but urethane looked great in doubles and singles.
Now, was I hearing this right too? And this is me literally asking questions because I'm really mad I didn't get to go to nationals, and that's something I really wanted to do, especially this year because of how I heard, everything was. Now, was singles and doubles in South Point?
They're all.
Or
they both are.
no. I know one was in the stadium.
Weren't they both in the same place?
One of them was
They were
insane.
both in South Point, but team was in the arena or the plaza.
Yeah, the arena, and then one of them in the
Double-
actual
That's
bowling
right,
alley.
that's right.
Doubles
They're
and
both in
singles
South
was in
Point,
the
but
center,
yeah,
Mhm.
I don't consider all the lefties and righties out there.
Yeah,
I don't consider the bowling center in South Point the same as the arena. The arena is way different.
arena's way
They
different.
play way different than they do
So,
in the bowling
I'm gonna
center.
see if I can find.
So that's why I asked
A
that
lot of
question.
people want to actually bowl the tat the same weekend they bowl.
Yeah, I bowl the tat almost every year besides this year, and that
Language.
tournament is.
All right.
I got this damn
So I'm going
bug.
to show you the difference. I'm going to show
I'm
you the
trying to get
difference
it, but,
between. This,
yeah.
This will be something fun to talk about. So here's the team pattern for. So let me zoom in. Okay. So the team pattern, oil pattern distance, 41 feet.
Hold it. Just talk. I got you. This one-
25.7 mils. Okay, so
Oh, it's behind you.
I had my information backwards. The tank conditioner they use Kegel Fire, which Kegel Fire plays drier than ice does.
Yeah,
Fire's-
fire naturally hooks more than
Fire
than
is
the
more
ice.
scoreable, but it breaks down quicker than
Yep.
ice does.
Yep.
So what we're looking at here is we're looking at the picture, kind of in general here, and let me.
Yeah, can you zoom in on that because this will be a good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know lane patterns or if
Yeah.
you can read lane grass, but this is a good
So
thing to learn off of.
41 feet. And forward oil is the more forward oil you have, the easier it's going to be because it's just the grain of it's the grain of how it's being placed down. Reverse oil is naturally going to make things tougher.
Yeah.
25 mils, almost 26 is more. The most normal house shots are 20, something like that. So there's always plenty of friction.
Yep.
So there's more volume than there normally is. But if you look at this pattern shape, this is the top, kind of the top looking down. You can see that the oil it's got a house shot type of shape to it.
Yeah,
It's
it sure
just-
does.
It's
Yep.
just flatter.
Yeah, it's a lot flatter. You could tell.
It's
You
just
could tell it's a
flatter.
lot flatter.
So you can look at this, so you can see there's not as much volume in the middle. There's not, but the ratio it's still sport compliant because it's 2 point.
Yep.
So,
So here-
this is what you look at for the ratio is the middle to
Yes.
outside. It's 264 to 1.
Exactly.
So under 3 to 1, it's still sport compliant.
Yep.
But if you look at the shape of this pattern, right in here, you can see that the majority of the oil is still in the middle of the lane.
Yeah.
And so it gets drier.
Which
on
is-
there's
this is the team pattern?
this is a team pattern from this year.
Really?
From
So
this year.
this shocks me a little bit, and the reason why I say that is because from the graph, can you scroll down? There you
Yeah.
go. From the graph, a little bit, just from the eye to me, if I was to approach this without knowing anything, which, I mean, obviously I know people that went and everything, so I had some info, but without knowing anything, I'm like, all right, you're right. This looks like a house shot, and it's similar
Yeah.
shape-wise, but I can basically, if you look here, outside to middle, that's what I
Yeah.
like to look at.
Yeah.
So I look at where my ratios are,
Yeah.
and you don't want to be middle inside or actually inside
Yeah.
middle because that's
They're-
your worst ratio.
Yeah, they're flatter.
Yeah, it's completely flat.
Mhm.
1-to-1 ratio is
'Cause, yeah,
terrible.
you look at this.
You
in the
want
middle,
the higher the ratio, the easier it is to
Yeah,
score. So
from
you want to
base-
be outside. You want to
Yeah.
be like 5 right?
Yeah, because that's where the easiest ratio is. That's also where the most friction is.
Exactly, yeah. So
On
you
this,
you
too.
gotta you almost gotta play it like a house shot. So I didn't go, like I said, but
Yeah.
my assumption is you were probably wanting to play 12 to 5-ish, 12 to 4.
Yeah, and that's where anybody that was scoring was playing.
Yeah,
If you got inside, you could play inside on the right side on team,
yeah,
but
this makes sense.
playing straight up the lane. So like
Yep.
Chaz actually ended up playing pretty well 12 to 5 with a reactive ball, and I gave it a little. I was laying it
Gave it
down
away a
on
little bit.
probably 8, 9, 10, and getting it out to about 5, and kind of walking it
Yeah.
in with a promotion.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you knew that
IQ
you had to
tour
get
type
it out
idea.
there as well.
Yeah,
In order
so-
to hit that 2-to-1 ratio, because ultimately, guys, what you want to do is you want to hit that 2.64 ratio.
Yeah,
You don't want to be in this 1-to-1 ratio,
Yeah.
because if you're in that 1-to-1 ratio,
yeah.
you're in no man's land.
If you look
That's
at
a
it down
hard-
here, it is super flat. So if you scroll down just a little bit further, like 11 or 12 to 11 or 12, it's
Yep.
flat as crap.
Yeah, you,
I mean, it is just
no man's land. That's
super
what I
flat
call
in
it.
there. So
No
it's one
man's
of those
land.
things like on the on sport conditions. Some of those, the deeper you move, the more it feels like it hooks because
Yep.
it's just flat.
Yep.
You're adding angle, but you're not moving into any extra volume.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yep.
you're not going to get the push that you think you're going to get. Now, if we go back to the 2019 team pattern, now look at this all of a sudden.
No, you're good.
I'm watching myself
You're good.
over the video here.
So, 38 feet, so it's shorter.
So I bowled in 2019.
Yeah, 38 feet, so it's 3 feet shorter.
Yeah.
27 and a half mils. So there's 2 more mils, and it's shorter.
The gutter was not in play
so
that
the
year.
ball is going to not get any traction at all,
Okay.
and then it's going to scream.
I can sit over
It's
here.
absolutely going to scream.
There we go.
Yeah. So if you look at the difference here between these patterns, there's so much more oil on the outside. It's tougher too because it was 198 to 1, so it's about 2 to 1 ratio.
Yep. Which I mean, that's still decent.
Yeah.
I mean, any time, in my opinion, when you can get anything 2 to 3 to 1,
yeah.
ultimately, you're not going to get very much stuff that's going to be straight 1-to-1 all
So, yeah,
around.
if
You're
you
going to
look-
have an easier part of the lane that you
Mhm.
need to be at, whether that's the 4th arrow, 5th arrow, 1st arrow, 2nd arrow. It doesn't matter. At some point, there is an easier area to play on the part of the lane.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Am I
if you look at this, there's a whole lot more oil in the middle that goes longer down the lane.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
So this
Look at the
is-
difference in that.
Yeah, it's very
I'll scoot over.
No, you're good. You're good. I can watch it right here. Oh, whoa.
It's completely different.
yeah.
And you can see the front and on the left side. Look at the left side there.
Yeah, there's
It-
more oil.
It
in the
is
front on the left
completely
side.
flooded
Yeah,
up the first
yeah.
10 to 15 feet.
Yeah, you
That
deserve
was
it.
that was team in 2019. So there's a
Yeah.
bunch of oil up front, which is going to make the ball skate.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then when it hits the end of the pattern, 38 feet is not.
It's
that,
no,
short.
it's short. So the problem is you're dealing with a lot of angle problems at the end.
Yeah.
You're dealing
So-
with a lot of things that are just gonna hockey stick.
Yeah.
And as a lefty, you hate hockey stick. And as
Yeah.
a righty, you even hate hockey stick
I don't
to
like
an extent.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
want
not
want
always.
Later
some-
in the
you
day,
want
later
some
in the day.
shape.
I said to
Yeah.
an extent. I said
Not
to an extent.
always.
I didn't say all the time, but like it's one of those things where you, no matter what, as a bowler, you're not looking for a hockey stick. You're looking for that.
Mhm.
You're looking for that reaction that's gonna,
You're looking for control.
control consistent.
So what happens on these? The way that short patterns fake you out is that there's a crap load of volume. So we got 27 and a half mils, but it's very very short. And so the more oil you have in that shorter amount or that smaller amount of distance,
Yep.
you're not going to get any traction at all up front. And so if you get the ball going outside, it's just going to spin for days.
Yeah.
If you get it inside a little bit, the shortness of that pattern, 38 feet, the ball's going to scream.
It's gonna hit the 6-pin.
It's gonna turn sideways.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's what makes people think, oh gosh,
And
well, there's no
we're
oil.
still bowling on the fire conditioner.
Yeah,
Because the
uh-huh.
ice is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but every time I bowled on ice,
it's slicker.
it's slicker.
It's slicker.
So
it holds.
it's
it-
naturally going to be
It-
slicker, and it's going to go longer.
yeah, it
Like,
holds
it's
up.
going to see the lane cleaner
Yeah.
than what the fire is. The fire's going to see the lane quicker.
Urethane was
Yeah.
still being played here, though.
I almost disagree because,
Oh, come on.
dude, I bowled on that pattern in 2000. I'm pretty sure it's that pattern. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I bowled on that pattern, and I remember saying, "Wow, this urethane should have been in play."
Yeah.
And
We actually ended up
You
throwing
could have got
all of our
left.
bowlers through
Reeled off the
urethane.
gutter.
really, that year.
Yeah, we all throw.
So maybe I didn't go in 19. Maybe I went in 18. I'm trying to remember what year I went.
18
it's
was
been a couple
Syracuse.
years since I've been.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wish I would have went
Yeah.
this year and last year.
I'm looking at
Well,
the distance.
yeah, we're looking at adding a Dallas Baldridge, Chaz Brewer. We're looking at adding teams next year. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Oh, you trying to talk to me? Or
Look at my eye
him, or-
twitching. Yeah, yeah.
You know Chaz and all that.
Anyhow,
Yeah, Chaz,
Austin,
yeah, yeah.
Austin Bowles is going with us next year too. So
Vegas?
So usually,
Yeah.
usually I bowl with Rhino.
interesting.
Rhino
Yeah.
Page.
Uh-huh.
And this year, we just couldn't get out there because of many reasons.
There's a lot of reasons.
And maybe it was last year or 2 years ago, 19,
Yeah.
when we weren't able to make it out there. Maybe I'm thinking of a different thing. But
2018 was Syracuse in New York, and then before that it was Vegas. I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
We haven't been to
Trying to
Reno in a while.
remember.
It
That's
might
the
have
one
been-
problem with the USBC is they need to be
Yeah.
hosting them in different cities every year.
yeah.
So,
The thing is Vegas is a pretty popular place.
Yes, but-
Everyone
Yeah.
wants to go
But
there.
if you went to a different place every year,
And-
they would pick up more interest. Would you agree?
possibly.
Look
People
at the
like
year they
well,
were in
I
people,
mean, there's a
Alabama.
lot of interest
people
they pick up
don't
in
like
general.
going to Vegas every single year. They like to go to different places.
Because
So-
I think they should fluctuate between like Vegas. I think Houston's an option, isn't it?
What they're doing is
It's been in Kansas City before.
they're doing the rotation they have is Vegas, Reno, somewhere else. Vegas, Reno, somewhere else.
Okay, so Vegas and Reno are always the top two.
Yeah, so Vegas.
Which makes sense because they're arenas.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's already
They gotta
there.
get them in use at some
So
point.
we're going
They
back
don't
to
have to spend
Vegas
the money.
next year. Vegas is next year, then Reno in 23, Vegas in 24, and then we're going to Baton Rouge in 25. And then Vegas
I like Baton Rouge.
is
Where at
locked in
24?
Vegas.
Vegas again. So we go
Okay, so it's
So-
Vegas, Reno, Vegas, and then.
I mean,
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
Vegas. But
Mhm.
Goodness
Oh.
gracious.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
We'll have to wrap this up pretty soon. So
Yeah, yeah,
we
we're
can
good.
we can start winding down here.
So yeah, we'll take a look at the doubles and singles patterns, and then we'll probably call it a day here.
We need to go over our stuff again one more time.
Yeah.
So
So this is the 2019 team pattern. Whole lot more oil in a shorter area, whole lot flatter. That makes it a whole lot more difficult. And the problem with the team pattern was, and I did a video on this, problem with the team pattern is it reads like it hooks a bunch. So even the 27.5 mils is a ton. That's a lot of oil.
Yeah.
And it's only, all that oil volume is in 38 feet. But so the shortness of the pattern makes it feel drier because it hydroplanes and then hits the end of the pattern and screams.
right.
And so people think, oh, the ball's hooking. The ball's hooking, there's not enough oil.
I gotta
And
look
so
this
they
way.
they move left.
Yep.
And once they move left, well, then all of a sudden they're picking up all that oil volume and they're pushing it into the back ends. So what they do is they take a flat, difficult pattern and they cliff it the wrong direction.
Yep.
So we're looking at the team patterns here. This was team pattern 2019. They made it easier in this year just because there's only 5 people bowling on a pair for team, 4 people bowling on a pair
Let's
for
be
double
honest. They
singles.
made it easier after a off year to help.
Yeah.
Honestly, the way they made patterns this year is the way they should be every year.
So
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, because most people bowl on. This is another thing that we can talk about is like an over the line segment of most people bowl on house shots all year long. There's no reason to put people on a 2-to-1 ratio sport pattern for a national tournament
No.
that everybody's involved.
I mean,
in.
I agree they should bowl on something hard, but I don't think it should be that stupid hard.
Okay, this is the doubles and singles pattern for this year. So 39 feet, almost 25 mils. So this was a shorter, flatter pattern, but there's still even more shape there.
Lay that ball down right here.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
here. Right here.
So here you go. Here's the double and singles pattern for this year.
You gotta look behind
Look
you.
at the picture there.
That's
so you,
doubles and singles this year.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
you can see exactly why I'm straight up 5 with a
Oh,
pitch
yeah.
black because there's a bunch
I
of
mean, look
volume.
at that.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch of volume in front. It hit 15, 20
Almost
feet and rolled and then just walked right into the pocket.
Yeah, look, yeah, you can
Trevor,
tell.
you're gonna lay that ball down right here.
You
But-
can easily tell right
Yeah.
there is. Yep.
But the righties don't have that because
No.
outside of
We're gonna leave the ball down right
I mean,
here.
okay, here's a good example though. You can tell the light blue right here
yeah,
and the dark blue. Like that means there's not as much oil right there, so it's naturally going to be harder.
yeah,
for-
because all they're getting right there.
There's
is
more
forward.
forward
Yeah,
here,
there's forward,
and there's more
yeah.
combined here, which is combined makes it easier
Yeah.
than forward or reverse,
Mhm.
one way or the other.
Which is crazy, by the way. Because
So-
you think it'd be thicker.
Okay.
Yes.
But the thing is here too that they only oiled to like 26 feet. So if you're looking at that, the rest of that's buff. This is oil. This is buff. So you put the ball down. We have plenty of oil in the heads to work with, and then there's all kinds of friction the rest of the way in. So it's just
Yeah.
urethane right up 5,
Oh yeah.
and it was beautiful
God,
because we had head oil.
you're
and then we
making me
had-
you're making me kick myself for not.
And then we
not
had
going.
reaction down lane.
Yeah.
Jacob Buttriff went one.
Oh, I can only imagine.
170, 280. He shot 170 the first game, and then he went nuts.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, because he's probably like, oh, you mean I can do this?
Yeah.
Okay, well let me just do that.
Yeah, his angles were tricky the first game, but then he had the front 10 the next game. He shot 280 something. Okay, so we go back to this and we look at the Dublin singles from 2019.
We just look at-
28.4. 42 feet, 28.4.
Urethane's still in play there.
We did have Dallas Baldridge actually used urethane because it was just the volume amount was nuts.
Yeah, urethane's still in play. And when we go to Springfield here in a couple weeks, the right side is going to be
Yeah.
urethane play.
Did you see the question from T Dub?
I don't
sorry.
think so.
So my strike ball has spinner roller track lines, but when I throw the same ball at a 7-pin, it has semi roller track lines. How do I lose the spinner? So
Flat hand.
I have a comment, but you go ahead, Luke, because you're pretty good with that kind of stuff. So I want you to answer it first.
To throw at a 7-pin, is that what he's saying? Like,
Yeah, you're
Oh, Curtis got a
so
question too.
yeah. So what you're
have
doing
an
is
answer.
you're throwing it differently between your spare ball and your strike ball.
So
So basically, when you spin the ball, you kind of come around the top of it. You kind of corkscrew it or whatever else. So Brad and Kyle actually have a lot. If you go to the Brad and Kyle channel and subscribe there, they have a lot of technical kind of demonstration videos, and they'll show you. Brad's has gotten really good about getting behind the ball.
Yep.
Getting
Yep.
behind the ball and getting through it really well. And so watching a lot of those, again, go find the Brad and Kyle channel. They have a lot of good stuff on that. They even
Oh, yeah.
have a coaching service that they do that you might want to look into. But that'll be the biggest help to get rid of, spinning. So a lot of people try to go back and they get around the ball and then they do that to try to,
well, I
help it.
Over the
yeah,
top of it?
and I think a lot of it is if you kind of have a semi roller track on a 7-pin, naturally you're not wanting the ball to hook as much,
Yeah.
so you're kind of more behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're more like guiding it,
Even
and,
sub-
and
yeah,
that
even
that's maybe a lack of a
subconsciously.
better term.
Yeah.
That may be a bad way to say it, but you're kind of guiding it to.
No, it's
Yeah.
exactly,
The 7-pin.
that's exactly what
So it's more
Yeah.
rolly.
Yeah.
Now, if you want the same thing, I mean, as a strike ball, the main thing, like Luke just said, the main thing is if you got that spin top kind of track,
Mhm.
that basically means you're coming over too early.
Yeah.
Wait on it a little longer,
Me still.
just a little bit longer in your swing. And if I saw a video, I'd be able to kind of pinpoint and tell you where to do it. But wait on it a little longer, and then just it literally is that easy. And then you're more behind it, and you're more in control of it. So there's that
Looks like,
question. Here's another one.
Looks like James got his belt back.
No, it's just-
He was bowling for his
James.
UBA
Nathan, is he
region
on?
belt
He's
again.
on, he won UBA. He won his belt back today.
All
Yeah.
I need to know.
We
on
need
sport
UBA
patterns.
in Kansas City.
No.
So
Sport
all I
Pack does-
Can somebody please bring the UBA to Kansas City? That's all I gotta say.
Can
it,
you use
James.
urethane? You have to use urethane.
Yeah,
So,
did you read that from
Yeah.
Curtis?
Yeah.
All I need to know on sport patterns: 1, does the gutter hook? Depends.
Yeah.
2, can I use urethane?
yes.
Yes.
Most of the time, you have-
yes,
so-
yes, and yes.
So here's the take a look at this was 2019 doubles and singles pattern up here,
No.
and this was this year's doubles and singles pattern. Last year, a whole lot more oil, more friction this year. So this is, again, there's a whole lot more oil built into the left side of the doubles and singles pattern last year, or
this is last year?
This is 2019.
I was
Okay,
stuck
yep.
around the same wrong side.
This is this year. So again,
You can actually
we-
tell
yeah.
that the last year's pattern, 2019, is
Yeah.
harder
Yeah,
than this year's.
yeah, because there's more volume.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at the left side. How much more bulky and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? How much more there is
Yeah.
there compared
So
to
look
the
at this.
2020.
There's a whole lot
2021.
less recovery here. So if you get the ball going the wrong direction early,
Oh, yeah,
it's
you're-
gone. Gone.
Bad news bears.
This, however, there's more oil in the first like 10 feet, but then there's a whole lot more free hook later
Yep.
down the lane.
Yeah.
Partially because of the pattern shape, and partially because of the oil volume. Period.
Yeah. So a good answer to I think Curtis's question. You know, can I use urethane? You know, here's how I judge if I can use urethane. Is it hooking enough in the fronts and blending enough in the back ends for me to use urethane? And what I mean by that is if I can play on top of it and still have that motion in the back end with urethane, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm throwing urethane because urethane is going to naturally be controllable, strike, and all the above. You want some of this, Luke? You want some of this? It's a Kolschbier. It's really good.
Why is that dark?
Wait, what the?
She
what is
got,
that?
She got more of her. Yeah, she got more of the sour. She got
No,
more of the
I
good
ain't
stuff.
I ain't drinking sour.
This is. Oh, sorry.
She got more of the good stuff. Is what
This
happened.
is our
Okay,
last
so
beer.
he can
We're
ha-
gonna shut this down.
He can have the sour.
This will be our last one. We gotta shut this down.
Yeah, he can have the sour.
We're kind of
Oh,
partying.
do you want the
Sour,
Kolsch?
you
You want the
want
Kolsch?
this?
I'll try that, and then I'll.
We're
drink
kind of
more of the
partying
sour.
for our last one here.
Yeah.
We're having a good
So,
time.
this
No,
is-
I'm just blabbing away.
You're doing a great job,
this
though.
is-
once I
uh,
get on it,
He's-
I'm
This is me.
easy to go.
You probably can't see us on YouTube, but this is Jacob Buttriff's
You're doing a good job, though. We're having
sets.
fun.
He went 680, 720, 720, and that second 720 in doubles included a 170 start.
Oof.
So he went 170. His angles were a little bit off. He actually bowled
Yeah.
with Chance Rivera, and he bowled like a pair or two away from us, so we got
Yeah.
to watch this whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, and it's
170.
so easy to do. It's so easy to get your angles off, and
Yeah.
seriously, that's all it takes.
Uh-huh.
So like butt turf, and I'm not speaking for butt turf. I know butt turf actually really well, but my guess is he probably got in there and had the wrong angles, had the wrong mind thought and
Yeah.
everything, just
Uh-huh.
like anyone else. He's human. It is what it is. He may be one of the best out there, but he's human. And
Well,
then
and he lives in Vegas too, so he
Yeah.
knows the center at South
Exactly,
Point really
yeah.
well.
yeah, so he probably got in there. He's like, all right, I need to do this, and then it was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is there,
Yeah,
and I guarantee you, he went there with probably a urethane,
yeah.
and
was-
then just it was game over.
I think he was throwing a black hammer the
Yeah,
whole time,
no,
but
that
his
does-
angles were off the first game. So he goes 170 the first game
Yep.
of double and singles, then has the front 10, 289, 250, 240, 250, 218, and he shot 230, 220, 220 in team.
How much money did you make?
Yeah, that's-
88, 678 for 17th in all events, 155 for doubles and 418. So he made
What
and
a
that-
what a terrible check to make 1,300.
dude. So doubles
Well, it
and
wasn't that great after you spend the money.
doubles and singles.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you don't know what he made in brackets though.
Yeah,
I guarantee you,
I was
he
just-
absolutely ran over brackets.
Well, here's
Especially
the
what if
funny
you did
thing.
reverse? Yeah, reverse
and that's the
would kill
thing,
them.
yeah.
With-
That's the thing about nationals is you can do reverse.
With smaller squads, he won $2,000 in brackets, and his refund was $5,000.
Yeah.
For doubles and singles, because there just wasn't the action.
Yeah, nobody wanted to play against him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like the tour. You know, they have They
Yeah.
have brackets
His
every
refund was
single time.
$5,000.
His refund was $5,000.
Well, they have
Mine
they
was
have
Science Fair, yeah.
he hit the all in button.
they have
with
brackets
squad.
every single time, and regionals and PBA events,
Yeah.
but no one gets in them because I mean, think about it. Like
PBA
it's
has
it's
brackets. They don't play
literally
them.
Yeah.
it would be literally
Well, especially
grades
like-
destroying grades.
Yeah, the U.S. Open and the Masters.
You can't do it.
Especially,
You
yeah,
shouldn't do it.
USBC events, they have brackets, but, yeah, you have a bunch of pros in the U.S. Open and the Masters. You're going to get in brackets. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a terrible idea.
You're not going to.
Going to like the KC tournaments when you've got you and Packy, and even then, like Brent Bauer's squad, they picked 2 of those guys to put in brackets, and they didn't
Yeah.
put the rest of them. You don't go in and have 5 shooters. Well, you're going to be hurting yourself. You're
Yeah,
going to be
exactly.
just playing against yourself if
Which
you got
is-
if you got a squad.
Which is why it's good to have that back to that doubles partner that, you know, which my doubles partner again is Dylan. You know, you have that 1-2 punch because you do have those tournaments where it's like Brent Barris that goes, you know what, I'm going to quotation, I'm not speaking for him, but I'm going to back this person and this person today.
Yeah,
Well, that's 2 versus me.
yeah,
So I'm like, no, let's not do that. Let's
Yeah.
do, you know, let's do a combined thing and let's do 2v2 here, and then let's go heads up from there. But that's why brackets is hard because, I mean,
That's why a lot of people don't like getting in. Brackets.
yeah, because brackets is one of those things. It's a
crapshoot.
crapshoot.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't
You
care.
know, if you have good games of 1, 2, 3,
Yep.
you're gonna win those brackets.
Bless you.
If you have bad games of game 1 and then
mm-hmm.
there's only a 3-game set, like Springfield, for example. You go to Springfield
Yeah,
and you bowl a team event, and let's say you shoot 190
yeah,
in the first game, and you're all in.
yeah,
I mean,
You
you're
just got
you're
knocked out of
you
50?
just got knocked out of a lot of brackets.
yeah.
So you're
Not
kinda
in that building.
Pardon my French, but you're kind of
Screwed.
Oh.
yeah, you're
It
pissing
ended-
yourself
yeah,
because it's
Not
It-
in that building. Go me.
well, it
and
depends.
I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those
it's
things.
sunshine for team. It's
Okay,
one thing.
okay,
If
let me-
you're,
let-
if you're at Enterprise,
let me
and you shoot
rephrase
190
this.
the first game,
You're done.
You're done.
How about we say Tulsa GTO because that's a high scoring place.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
but it's also really weird too.
See, I love that place. Do you not like it?
No, Broken Arrow is weird.
I didn't
but
like it this year.
the team house down there, what is it? Oh gosh, I can't even think of the team house in Tulsa.
Broken Arrow.
Broken
Well-
Arrow, and
well-
then we got
It's
Andy
the
B's.
Andy B's.
Andy
yeah,
B's,
Andy
yep.
B's. That's
B's.
that's the team house. That's the interesting one. But Broken Arrow just hooks.
oh yeah,
Broken Arrow just hooks.
hooks a lot. No, I think
Everybody
team
goes
hooks
straight and
more.
sprays it like you're
Yeah.
I
out
think
on
team
the
hooks
line.
more,
Uh-huh.
which is Andy B's, right?
Yeah.
I think it hooks more. However, some of it could be because I mean you have 5 people on a lane, and
Yeah. Yeah. There's
you're
10
naturally going to
there's
hit
10
transition. And I know it sounds stupid,
10 people on a pair.
but as a lefty, like when you start
Well-
getting righties that are throwing it this way and I'm throwing it this way,
Yeah,
you hit those fronts.
the righties are going to be now. I go in Stephen Keeler's group, and so we have Shea Bittenbender, Tim Barrett. You know, Shea gets he plays fourth arrow. He's one of those guys that he's the Norm Duke of fourth arrow.
Yep.
Like he's just so much better than anybody else at playing deep because he's got that hand where he can get it to. He's got that like Chris Barnes thing.
Yeah.
Where he can get the ball to get to
Kind
a
of
certain place
fluffs,
and then
fluffs
stop.
through the front.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Like,
Yeah, he gets the
Yeah.
ball gets 30 feet down the lane before it even knows it's on the lane.
Yeah.
And then he can get it to stop there.
Yep. Yeah.
And so
It's
when
incredible when
they
people
get
can do that.
in that far, that's another thing about the left side and the right side of the lane. You really can't. Sometimes you have to play You have to play your side of the lane based on what the righties are doing because
Yeah.
if the righties are playing deep and destroying your heads, you can't get deep.
No.
You can't.
Because literally, like I said, you get these guys that are going this way, and we're trying to go that way. And naturally, think about it. You have, if you think of it in this terms, a lot of the times you have 9 guys.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have 10 on a pair, you have 9 guys going this way.
Mm-hmm.
You have that one lefty. Most of the time, there's only 1, maybe 2. At the most, there's 3 or 4. I mean, there's not very many. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
got lefties going this way.
Yeah.
What are you gonna get? You're gonna get
Yeah.
nothing but their action. No offense, but my one ball per frame
Yeah.
is nothing to the 9 or your
Yeah.
lefty too. Like your one ball is nothing to the 9 of his.
Yeah. What's going to happen?
You're
is
gonna
they
get those
have-
the fronts that just read so early. So
Yeah.
you got to squirt it through those fronts.
Yeah, they have. So if you're on the left side, you've got dry heads, and then all of a sudden you have oil, and
Yep.
then you have back end. On their side, they've got dry heads, but then they have dry track, dry
Yeah,
heads,
they have dry
whatever else.
everything, yeah.
So they got dry everywhere, so they can just kind of
Yeah.
work with that. We
Yep.
get hook skid hook,
Yep.
and sometimes that just kills ball reaction.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
No, I can.
Until we start crossing on your side of the lane.
Yeah.
It gets even better.
Yeah. No, and that's.
Alright, so
all right.
Should we?
Yeah,
I
we
think
need
we're gonna
to.
wrap that up
Yeah, we
here.
probably need to shut this down. But one last question: do you feel like those glasses help you drive at night? These are computer glasses, so these filter out blue light, and so we've got some lights and umbrellas kind of right at us, and I have really sensitive eyes, and so this really does help filter out the lights, the light rays that kind of give you stress, headaches, and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
no,
because I get my eyes they're really sensitive.
Go to mommy for a second. We're done.
So having having a few beers and having that light staring at me and that light staring at me and the computer light staring at me and whatever else, this really helps soften the light strain.
Hey,
So,
also want to say thank you to
It's
Trevor
definitely
for
beer.
coming and hanging out with us. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
problem.
You did a
Thanks,
great
man.
job today.
Yeah.
Right?
No problem.
So yeah, this
Thanks
is
for having me.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have you on the breakdown pair.
Come and talk about bowling and drink beer and see a new foster dog and.
Oh
Yeah.
I think he could be a guest on the breakdown pair. What do you think?
yeah.
Anytime you bring a dog into play. I mean,
Yeah.
That's
Let's,
my bread and butter.
It's
Yeah.
not
I
beer.
love-
Beer didn't do it.
No, beer didn't do it. It's that dog right over there. I love
So,
dogs, so.
One
Yeah.
last final time. We have a new show starting in 2 weeks.
Yep, the breakdown pair. It's probably
Yeah.
going to start around my birthday actually, which I'm probably going to do some giveaway stuff because I'm going to be 40.
Wow.
I'm going to be 40 in a couple weeks.
Old man.
Big
So-
4-0.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing, I guess you guys can discuss because Waz is doing his fundraiser tournament on your birthday.
Oh yeah, because that's Sunday. So yeah, we might actually. David Waswo of the Bowlers Show is also doing something on my birthday, so we might pair up and we might be streaming all day long. I don't know, but we're gonna have fun
When's
that day.
your
We'll August 15th, Sunday. But he's got kind of a benefit tournament, so we might have to
Are we
get
just-
together for that.
Are we
can-
live streaming the whole thing and just hanging out, or
Sure.
what are we doing?
Yeah, we can go bowl the tournament and live stream and whatever else.
Wear
so-
microphones?
Yes, that would
Lauren
probably.
may have to join in that.
Gosh darn it, EJ.
Yeah, if you're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you guys could
Yeah,
like
let's hook it
swap
up.
microphones around.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we only got 2 mics, so like you two could be mic'd up for a while and.
Yeah.
like-
Whoever's bowling well will be mic'd up.
You don't want me. You don't.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm
Alright.
very appropriate when it comes.
Where
to
is Storm at?
No.
No. Okay.
Nope, we've been told no here.
That's gonna be a Travis.
So,
anyway.
once again, we have a contest. Before we sign off here,
Because he will jump up.
we didn't have a chance to make our
He'll
video
destroy
for
everything.
this, but we have to find a way to create something.
Yeah,
and
we'll
send this
figure
out.
something out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a design contest for Coolwick. Once again, our email address is breakdownpair@gmail.com.
I've seen some of you send
Send-
emails
yeah.
already.
Send
Keep
some.
sending them in.
Yeah, we're gonna pick a couple designs a piece to make into jerseys, and your prize for whoever wins is going to be a
House.
jersey, either of that design or whatever you want. You're gonna get a Coolwick jersey if we pick your design. We have a new show starting. We're gonna have several bits. We're gonna have Getting Tapped with Norseman Brewing Company. We're gonna be doing the Coolwick chat or the Cool Chat presented by Coolwick.
What I would say is after this post, go in and edit the description and put that email in there.
Yeah.
Because if for some reason somebody doesn't understand you, that they can see it.
Yeah, we'll put the email address in the description once we're done with this. But submit if you have strong opinions about two-handers or lane conditions or anything. We're gonna handle that in the over the line segment, where we figure out whether it's a
And we'll have special guests.
reasonable opinion.
Not every week. Not every week.
Yeah,
but we'll
not
have
every
special
week, but
guests.
we'll have on the Cool Chat presented by Coolwick. We'll have special guests either by Zoom or sitting right here.
Such like this week.
And if you have any bowling fails or videos or somebody falling down or throwing a ball through a ceiling tile or
Trevor
something
going
like
down
that,
the lane today.
we'll cover those in.
Good old Trent Bumgarner.
Yeah.
Throw it through the ceiling.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we can.
Market zero.
Yeah, maybe we can let Baby Carter join the talk.
Yeah.
He has to say.
Come on
Oh.
in.
Baby B.
We're
They-
gonna
they
have
figured-
we're gonna have some fun.
I am not. She is not pregnant. It is
No,
my
Yeah.
brother's
Yeah.
wife's.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Is my
Do we have an
brother's
announcement?
wife.
Yeah.
No.
The fi-
No,
the
no. It is my
Aileen's like,
brother's
no,
wife.
no.
yeah.
Do we have an announcement?
Coming
No.
in 2025.
Your mother's favorite child's grandchild.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Your
No,
mother
Lisa's
did not
favorite
root for you
child.
today
Yeah.
because you weren't Trent.
Our,
only
our
reason I-
babies don't count. Our babies don't matter.
Keep
'cause
hitting
we're
my
not
phone.
favorite
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've got a really cute dog.
Mom didn't
so-
cheer today because you aren't Trent. So
Yeah.
it's okay.
That's okay. I'll live
We
with
can
it.
bring in
Yeah.
skies for our babies.
When you do get pregnant, somebody, like, your theme for it needs to, like, something has to do, it's just like, the second
yeah.
child or something.
Yeah.
needs to be the
As
theme.
if you guys are all confused, so
Hey, go ahead
Yeah.
and we
if
can
you guys are all
have
confused, here's the
ideas
thing,
how
like,
we're
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
brother is the favorite of the two, according
Yeah.
to my mother.
Oh, he's right-handed. So
Yeah, I mean he's right-handed. Naturally,
Yeah.
as a lefty, you're not.
He's
like-
my favorite
Yeah.
now.
But isn't your mother?
My mother is lefty, yeah. So it's kind
Yeah.
of a mess up situation. Let's
Yeah.
just.
I
He's
know.
still my favorite.
Trevor has
Yeah.
such a sad story. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got.
I know.
Trevor is
Thought
sad.
for me, feel for me,
Yeah,
one
I
of those
know,
things.
yeah.
I don't care.
you.
Yeah, as long as I don't have to pull you guys off of the arcade games ever again, we'll be just fine.
Which one?
Yeah.
My first time working at the bowling center, I had to go and scold them and pull them off of the arcade games numerous times.
Way back in the day. Cover someone.
Hear
What are
the
you doing?
giggle.
Storm?
To be honest, I don't remember those days.
Yeah. What are you doing, buddy?
To be honest, I don't either.
No.
So,
All right.
Storm is here.
okay, I'm
Well-
gonna
So
put the camera
one
Yeah.
last
down.
time though,
Here.
Oh,
Coolwick,
yeah.
our design contest, and we're done.
Oh, yeah. This is, hey, Storm, turn around. We have a new foster dog that may perchance be a permanent
We have
dog.
butthole.
Yeah.
No, if he was, there we go.
Oh,
There
yeah.
he goes.
Uh-huh.
There he is.
This is Storm.
And Haley.
That is.
He is, yeah, Storm and
High
Haley.
maintenance
Raylan,
fiancé.
Amanda, get in here.
Yeah.
It's our last Rise and Grinds. Come on, get
They're
in
both blonde. They both have blue eyes.
And they both are high maintenance.
Come here.
Yeah.
here. This is
Yeah.
our last Rise and Grinds. You finally get to see the wife. Congratulations on winning the top 10
Yeah.
today.
Yes,
Trevor,
top 10.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Yes,
Top
right
10
here.
winner.
Bring them dubs
Yeah.
home.
No, don't kick your feet. That's
Yep.
important.
There you go. Raylan, all right, now you're
Yep.
yeah.
So thanks everybody for watching. We've had fun on the Rise and Grinds. We're gonna have a whole lot more fun on the Breakdown Pair show,
Yes, 2 weeks.
and we're a couple weeks. Pretty excited for that.
2 weeks, sorry. There we go.
I only have a couple weeks left before I catch up with my wife and turning 40. So.
Did you answer that or no?
No, we're good.
Yep.
Done.
And what's your favorite pattern?
Oh,
I
there you
really
go.
like
House.
middle road.
I'm gonna find. Yeah. I
Yeah,
like it
we
too.
both on Swiss trios.
Give me urethane. There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Urethane Middle
You
Road.
get to have
We're gonna have- that's in
middle
Springfield.
road soon.
Bring
Yeah.
urethane.
Oh,
All right.
no road.
Thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate it. We're gonna have more stuff like this. It's been a lot of fun. This will be a little bit more organized next time.
Thank you, Trevor.
But
Appreciate
yeah,
it, buddy.
yeah. Thanks Trevor for hanging out.
No problem. Thanks for
So-
having me.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You've done a great job, and we'll definitely have you on for the breakdown
Yeah.
pair.
Yeah, thanks again, guys.
Yep.
Hope
See y'all
all's
later.
well.